It is race day here at the inaugural running of Legends of the Fall in Disney, Oklahoma. A little bit gloomy outside, gray for the first time all weekend long. Rain possible in the area this afternoon. Temperatures cool here this morning, but we are going to warm things up with some incredible off-road racing. Hi, everybody. I'm Ralph Shaheen alongside my good buddy Dave Arnold. Dave, we've got an action-packed day all along here on SpeedSport.tv.
I mean, on top of the great racing we've already had this weekend, or this week so far, it's been a long one already, but I'm looking forward to the 4400s, the 4800s, the big bad boys, the open the wallet, let it run, major horsepower. They're hitting the track, but you know what I'm looking for?
Same thing I am, right?
Looking over our shoulder here there. Nasty Girl tonight, the NRA, the Rock Bouncers. They're going to be hitting that, going up Nasty Girl today, and I cannot wait to see. I actually had a chance to walk over there. It is literally vertical, and I'll tell you, those ledges, like a 36-inch jump up and a 42-inch jump up that these vehicles have to make it up and over.
600 feet long, straight up through the trees. 7 degrees of angle. I don't know how they're going to do it. I can't wait to watch it. Anyway, that's coming up later on today. Now, we have a fourth member of our broadcast crew, or a third member, actually. I'm trying to count how many people we got. So many SpeedSport folks running around over here. Third member of our crew holding a microphone is Erica Allred, who has a lot more on what's coming up today.
Thanks, Ralph. Today is the day that the legends will be crowned after hard-fought battles all season and slim points margins coming into this championship weekend. It all comes down to this. But don't forget, just 20 minutes down the road in Jay, Oklahoma at Mid-America Outdoors, they're wrapping up their championships as well. Today will be one for the books if the racing is anything like we've seen these past few days. Guys, I'll see you on stage in a bit.
All right, Erica, thanks. She's been doing a great job all weekend long. We'll save you a seat right here on the desk in between the two of us. Bring a jacket and try to warm up a little bit later. We've had so much going on here all weekend long with the racing, but along with the racing has been some massive announcements, and I had the opportunity to be a part of it in downtown Disney last night here, where we put on a huge show in front of the race fans and made the announcement in front of everybody about what's coming to the future of Mid-America Outdoors and Disney, Oklahoma.
Boxes, I cannot fit in the boxes. Stop it, quitting was never an option. Exhausted, this passion is never exhausted. And you cannot stop it, nah, you cannot stop it.
I had to switch up the flow, show you the way that it go. God is good, but his life is hard, but it gets better when you grind it smart. I'm just really trying to leave a mark. We tired of being who they say we are. That's the baton, we gon' take it far.
Always been real, we don't fake it all.
Tired of 9 to 5, just making enough to survive. Only living on the weekends. You really thinking that's why I'm alive? Listen out the scenes, time to live my dreams, do the things deep inside of me. This life it continues with fighting me, but I don't have quitting inside of me. I stop a flow, make a living break. Confessions over these 808s. Don't sleep on the key, better stay away. I mean, for heaven's sake, I'ma be the best. Came from the endless, I ain't with the games, beating with the chest. Be beating on my chest, trying to get my rest. Watch me while I flex. Every win is a blessing, and every L is a lesson. So when I run into rejection, I know it's only redirection. I see the blessings right beside me. The chances of quitting are likely. I do it like I'm in my Nikes. Don't make excuses, they never excite me.
Quitting was never an option. And you cannot stop it, nah, you cannot stop it.
Nitro Circus and Mid-America have teamed up, and we are going to build a one-of-a-kind, family-friendly action motor park in the center of America, Mid-America, Jay, Oklahoma. This purpose-built nitro course that we're designing right now is not only going to be great for Nitro Rallycross, but we're talking off-road trucks, lemons, supermoto, anything that you can imagine. It's going to have asphalt, it's going to have pavement, polished concrete. We're talking Talladega berms, we're talking off campers, we're talking skid pads. Everything that you've ever seen anywhere in the world, multiply it times 5, and that is our goal for Mid-America, Jay, Oklahoma. And not only that, we're bringing in pump tracks for the kids. We're making sure that we have, if you guys want to learn backflips, we're going to have airbags to teach you backflips or to show you backflips. If you want to watch, if you want to participate, Mid-America Outdoors is going to be your place. We're coming in hot, and this is going to be the most epic place on the face of the earth, right in the middle of America. For myself and the rest of the Nitro Rallycross crew, we are looking forward to seeing you firsthand with the premiere of our new epic Nitro Playground. Visions 2023, June 14th through 18th. Do not miss it. You're going to want to be there. You have to see this, and it's going to be awesome.
Quitting was never an option.
Dave, we cannot stress how big of an announcement that is that Travis is bringing all of his craziness to this beautiful part of the country here in the Sooner State.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, this is a mecca of playground here. I say it, it's the Disneyland of off-road and craziness going on. I mean, there's hundreds of miles of trails back there that they could do, and I've seen them take their UTVs through the woods with, Pastrana. I think there might be a few spots they might be able to throw in a foam pit here or two.
Oh, yeah, he's bringing it all. I
Yeah.
mean, everything that guy can dream up, and that's a lot, he's got plans for with Jason Robinette, who runs and owns this whole shebang around here. He's bringing it all here to Disney, Oklahoma, and nearby Jay, Oklahoma, which is where Mid-America Outdoors, the current park, already exists.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I mean, everything that he has planned here is just great, not only for motorsports, but for the community. And that's one of the great things about it. And I think it's going to bring a lot of tourism and business here.
And what he mentioned in the video clip there is how much of it's going to be geared towards the kids and the youth. He wants them to have the opportunity to witness this stuff in action when it comes to extreme sports and or participate and learn properly if they choose to do so and mom and dad say it's okay.
Well, that's one of the great things, I've had the, chance of you have with the kids and, motorcycles and all that, but there's not exactly a freestyle, school for kids or, even he could teach them to drive UTVs, rally cars,
right,
all the different supermoto safely. And that's what I really like. There's so many different aspects.
Well, think of all the goofy things we did of our generation in the front yard, on the driveway, on the street going by, on our bicycles, on our Schwinn's, no helmets, bad jumps, your buddies all laying down on the other side of the jump. Now you're going to be able to come here and learn how to do all this stuff properly in as safe an environment as you possibly can do it. And there was one other thing in that announcement you might have noticed at the end. Champ Off-Road, the Amsoil Series. We can't tell you everything. We've been privy to a little bit of the information, but coming in the next few days is going to be a major announcement about what Champ Off-Road has planned here in this part of Oklahoma.
Yeah, and I'm really excited about it. I have a lot of short course background there, and one of the kids I actually watched grow up that we talk about, Ricky G, he was one in that video, so I'm very stoked to see that.
I mean, as great as this place already is, the couple of things that hadn't been here now looks like they're coming. What's left, right?
I got to think outside the box. I think Jason's already thinking outside the box of what possibly could come next.
Jason Robinette, that's the man in charge of all of this, who has the vision, who has the dream. He's making it all happen, and the folks here in Oklahoma are about to become the epicenter of the entire off-road world and everything you can think of in extreme sports.
Action Sports, the new home.
This is it. Get used to Disney, Oklahoma, and Jay, Oklahoma. If you love action sports, off-road, extreme sports, this is your future destination. We've got a lot more coming your way from here. Stay with us on SpeedSport.tv.
Bronco, an American classic, returns. And it only gets better when it's outfitted with the right gear. From bumpers to winches, rigging accessories, suspensions, body armor, and wheels. You need a full array of gear to outfit your Bronco for adventure. Get them now at warn.com.
Whether you're conquering the toughest single-day race in the world or the toughest trail at the off-road park, you need a tire that can get you to the finish. You need the Atturo Trailblade Boss. Go online to atturo.com to find your local authorized dealer and get the race-proven Trailblade Boss from Atturo. Atturo Tires. Go your own way.
The Ford Bronco is back, and 4 Wheel Parts is your Bronco aftermarket headquarters. Whether it's a wheel and tire upgrade you need or an all-out overlanding build, 4WP's expert staff and lineup of in-stock products are ready to help you do your Bronco right. Build your Bronco at one of our 100 stores nationwide or shop online at 4WP.com/Bronco HQ.
So I'm here with Dwayne Garrettson, part of the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class, the Ricky Bobby of Ultra 4, and we are here at South Grand Lake. Look, it's absolutely beautiful. Dwayne, what do you think?
Man, this is an awesome place to be here. I'm excited about this new venue. You know, we've wreck-wheeled here for, you know, probably the past 10 years, so I'm pretty excited to actually finally have a full-blown event here.
So what is your favorite trail here at the Disney Langley Recreation Area?
Man, I guess I really don't have a favorite trail like I like to run, but you know, of course Viagra is definitely the draw. You know, you see tons of action, tons of rollovers, you know, tons of success, but you know, tons of failures as well, so it's always a good time.
Yeah, it's a great place to race, and we're here at the Method Race Wheels Legends of the Fall racing for the Nitto National Championship, and it comes down to the wire. You're top 5 in nationals. You're, I think, 2nd or 3rd in the East, if I'm not mistaken. You got a good year going.
Yeah, we're last year we won the championship. You know, we pretty much had it locked in before we got to the national race, and this year with the double points folds, it really opened things up for all the classes.
It's interesting, isn't it?
So nobody really has it locked in, so it's going to be a great weekend. You know, we do have an opportunity to maybe squeak into the top spot nationally, but we definitely have, you know, a lot of room for the East Coast Championship as well.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see. And like you said, you've been wheeling here for a long time. I've wheeled here myself for a long time, so we've probably crossed paths out there in the rocks before. But I'm so excited to have a Ultra 4 USA here at the Disney Recreation Area. It's going to be an amazing race, but there's much more than just that. I mean, Friday night, trunk or treat downtown, Casey Donahue. I mean, what are your thoughts about all that?
Man, I think since MAO has come in, you know, and taken over the Ultra 4 USA, things have just exploded, man. They definitely want to have, you know, top-notch racing, but, you know, they want us to have a good time.
Yeah, I mean, it's an event with a race going on as well. I mean, the Robinettes are all about that style, and it's really been a lot of fun this year.
Oh, yeah. For us, you know, we're a 4500 class, so we're never the main event. So, you know, some of the big party action might take a little bit away from the 4400 guys, so they might feel like we do now. But overall, man, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and it's just been a great year. We've been racing all season long. It comes down to this, and it's your race. You know, we'll see how it all shakes out, but I'm excited for you, buddy.
Oh yeah, man, we're excited too. We just can't wait to get out there tomorrow and do a little pre-running, see how the car works, you know, see if we can dial a few things in, man, and get on that box.
And talking about pre-running, I think that's extremely important because there's a few water crossings you need to memorize. We have them pretty marked out, but you know, you don't want to hit it too hard. The rock crawling here is going to be absolutely amazing. So I'm excited for you to get out there on the course and give us some feedback.
Yeah, oh yeah, me too. Like I said, I've never had my Ultra 4 car here, so I'm pretty excited just to see what it's going to do and how it works, and we're pumped, man.
What was your favorite race of this season so far?
Man, I don't really know. I want to say it probably had to be, it wasn't an Ultra 4 race, you know, everything kind of got twisted, but it was probably the 918 race that we had early on in the season.
The first one.
It was the first time that we got to go to Mid-America. You know, it was 16 degrees when we're pre-running. It was 34 degrees during the main race.
And then it snowed on you.
Yeah, it was the true testament of endurance racing, man. It was a blast.
So what do you think about Mid-America, the off-road park itself?
Oh, the off-road park is top-notch facility, man. You're not going to go anywhere in the United States and find a nicer park than you're going to find at Mid-America. We've been all over the world. We've been, you know, in rock sports, you know, nationally since '07. So I've seen some parks. I've seen a lot of things. you're not going to find a better facility.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing out here, and we're just a half hour away from the park. They've got the side-by-side championship series going, so in between live feeds, we'll be bouncing back and forth with them. They've got their own trunk or treat on Saturday night, so you have time, you can go over there. It's free to the public Saturday night as well, so you can go check that out. It's just going to be a great weekend. I mean, it's Legends of the Fall is coming in full force.
Yeah, man, we're excited. We brought some bunch of candy and stuff for the kids too. We like to see them little guys and gals in their little costumes.
I mean,
man,
family first is what we're all about, for sure.
We're excited about everything.
All right, guys, thank you. Welcome back to Disney, Oklahoma. You can see the beautiful fall colors as the leaves are changing all around us here. That's just across the spillway here from behind our stage. And over there is where you find Nasty Girl, where they're going to be crawling up that thing, bouncing their way up, as they say, a little later on. 600 feet long, 70 degrees of angle, no traction whatsoever. Fastest guy to the top wins, right?
Oh, yeah, it's all time, based on time all the way up. And these guys, the championship will be decided. I was actually, when I got a chance to walk over there, one of our gentlemen was on the show last night, talked about, man, I don't know if a little rain, a little drizzle, it might get a little slip. It's going to be crazy.
Leaves falling, all that. Man, it's going to be nuts. But you know what? This isn't the only place where there's racing going on.
Yes.
Mid-America Outdoors. How far? It's 15 minutes?
Yeah, about 15 minutes.
About 15 minutes. It's actually in what is known as Jay, Oklahoma, just down the road. Over there, Mid-America Outdoors, a whole nother facility. That's why we keep talking about how great this area is here in the Sooner State, because you have what's here in Disney and then what's over in Jay. And we sent Erica Allred over there to check out what they call MAO.
Joining me is Mid-America Outdoors Marketing Director Christina Davidson. Christina, not only is this a one-of-a-kind race facility, but there's so much more depth to what you guys have to offer. Can you talk me through all of that?
Yes, absolutely. We are a destination for not only racing, but for outdoor and off-road riding, entertainment, and fun for families to come enjoy. We have the park has cabins, RV sites, bathhouses, shower houses, a pool complex, playground, all kinds of things for families to enjoy. And then an entire weekend or an entire event here, they can do all sorts of things to enjoy being outdoors.
This truly isn't just a race venue, it's a destination, and you all have really created and curated that experience for so many families with all that you mentioned. Why do you guys take it this step further and do what you do?
We are passionate about providing a place, an event, and just an experience for families to enjoy doing what they're passionate about, and for them to enjoy being outdoors, being off-road, and getting that time together, and we just love doing what we do.
Thank you, Christina. A family-owned and operated business meant for other families to come here and enjoy.
Just remarkable, and it's all here in the Sooner State. And Dave, as much racing as we have going on over here, they have just as much going on over there today at MAO. What can we expect?
It's the side-by-side championships that are going on there over at MAO right now, and we've got everything from the kids to the pros. We've got the 170s, the little ones out there, the Can-Ams, the Polarises, as well as the Youth 800s, Youth 1000, which is really cool. They're the bigger units. You see a lot of the Polaris RS1s. Then they've got their own women's class. They've got a veterans class over 30, and the pro classes, the production turbos, and the naturally aspirated. So there's going to be a lot of championships that are going to be decided today over at MAO.
And they got a lazy river. Lazy river would be good for you.
Oh, I know. I mean, I'm ready for a cocktail. I'll be floating around there a little bit later. I mean, it's just insane. But you know what I'm excited about is the pro shop. I paid the credit card off. I'm going shopping.
There you go. I love it. We're going to be over there in a little bit checking out MAO. If you're in the neighborhood, come by and say hello, and then we'll be back here. All the Ultra 4 racing coming up. Those guys are going to try to rotate the earth around here later, aren't they? 1,000 horsepower machines. It's going to be awesome. And it's all live and free all day on SpeedSport.tv. Stay with us for more.
Rocks, sand, heat. Life off-road is tough. We wouldn't have it any other way. If AMSOIL products are designed for this kind of punishment,
Think about what they can do for your daily driver. Upgrade to AMSOIL protection today and get fast free shipping from AMSOIL.com.
We're back, and Erica has made her way out of the woods to join us over here. I mean, it's like it's not hard to get lost around here, is it?
Oh my gosh! One of the other nights we were trying to find the NRRA hill and be able to witness those rock bouncers, and it was absolutely insane. The terrain we were going over to try and find them. It's just truly a really cool and scenic facility.
For you and I, it's the first time we both have been here to Disney, Oklahoma, and over to Jay at MAO. What did you take away from this?
To be here and to be able to witness this season finale event has been truly incredible. Between Mid-America Outdoors Championship Series, the Ultra 4 USA, and the National Rock Racing Association, the racing that has come out of here has been second to none. It's truly been incredible to witness.
Dave, you've seen every major off-road facility and racing event around the world. How do you rate this place? I'm
going to say it's one of the top places I've ever been. I mean, just the facilities, the people, so nice to deal with. I mean, the cabins that they have over set up, the wet camping, dry camping, the pro shop, the pool, the lazy river. There's so much to do. Plus, not only the racing going on, the trails. So if your family comes out here, you're just not pigeonholed into watching a race. A lot of facilities that we go to, as you well know, you're there for the race, you're out. That's it. This has so many things to do with your family. That's the best part about it. Grab your side-by-side, picnic basket, head out into the trails, enjoy the beauty.
Yeah, you're not stuck in the grandstands here. There is so much to see and do that make up your experience here in Disney, Oklahoma, and over at Jay at MAO. I got to tell you, all the major racing facilities around the country have been there. Indy, Daytona, Sebring, you mentioned have been there. They're all incredible. And I think this is the first time I've seen an off-road facility that has taken the same approach to how they put their events on. It is truly something that is now officially a bucket list if you're a race fan. Not just an off-road fan. I think if you're a race fan, you need to come see this, because what these guys do with these off-road machines that Ultra 4 brings and the rock bouncers, how you can get out and witness it and see it, what we're going to see later today with these guys racing, and then over at Nasty Girl, it is something you don't want to miss.
Yeah, definitely. All these vehicles, I mean, it looks like you just pumped a bunch of steroids into them. I mean, we see the guys that go Jeeping and all that, but when you see an Ultra 4 with up to 1,200 horsepower, 40-plus inch tires that are just tearing up the terrain, the rock bouncers going vertical and bouncing their way up. The average side-by-side is not going to do that.
To me, it's very similar to NHRA drag racing. You just can't explain nitro.
Exactly.
You just have to be there and hear it and feel it to understand it.
The sound, the chest pounding that you feel at a drag race, you could feel it when these Ultra 4s take off the line. You just feel that horsepower, the energy, the excitement that it brings.
And when you see, Erica, what's coming in the future, we have the announcement from Travis and the Champ Off-Road stuff coming. This is only going to get bigger, 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 and bigger.
Oh, absolutely. And going back to the point of second to none, we've really noticed that this weekend. And with the announcement, this is truly just the beginning for them. I was able to talk to the owner's daughter, Tristan, and she said their goal for this is to make it a place for everybody. No matter what racing series, between the three we've seen here this weekend, they're going to make it a facility for where everybody is welcome.
Jason Robinette, very similar to the mindset of a Roger Penske or Big Bill France, the visionary type of guy when it comes to racing.
No, I couldn't argue that one bit. I mean, he's not, like I said, they don't put him in a box. He thinks outside that box, and he sees the opportunities that this facility could offer to so many people. And it's great. He's willing to work with all the different series so there's no conflicts. Everybody could have a home, because we are one big family. I always say we're a little dysfunctional, but nevertheless a family.
Yeah, and he's got the resources, and he's not afraid to put those into this. And what I really love is the state of Oklahoma is getting behind this too and helping him make it all happen. Well, for Erica and Dave, I'm Ralph Shaheen. Thanks for joining us here on SpeedSport.tv. We got a lot more coming your way, and it's all live and free today. Stay with us. Let's go racing with the guys over.
Well, thank you, Ralph and SpeedSport. Good morning and welcome. We're about to kick off the 2022 Method Race Wheels Legends of the Fall. I am Miles Hasquist along with Jim Marsden, and we are about to get this party started. Jim, it's going to be a great day.
Oh, Mars, it's so good to be back here. Well, I say back here. It's for my first time here. I'm getting so confused. Mate, Disney, Oklahoma, hasn't this place delivered already? The racing yesterday was absolutely insane, and today is just going to kick off massively.
Yeah, it's going to be very similar, except for a few more lines today. It's going to be a very interesting. We'll get in that here in just a minute. But, Mark, I'm going to introduce you to Mark Welch. He raced with us yesterday in the 4900 Can-Am UTV class. Had a lot of fun doing it, and you stayed safe on course, and you're going to help everybody else stay safe on course, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, lead us in, buddy.
All right, I'm going to say a prayer. I don't know why anybody would ask me to say a prayer because I'm pretty shy. But here goes. I just want to say thank you, God, for bestowing the fortune upon all of us that we are able to be here racing and hanging out and watching racing. And I want to say thank you for these people that put on this event and all the people that are here making it happen. And I just hope that you would continue to bless them and make it a better place for us to race in the future. I want to say my heart goes out to Rufus Racing, and I just ask that you bring comfort and peace as they're grieving the loss of Zandy. And I want to just say I hope you watch over the racers today, keep them safe, and make them go fast. In Jesus' name, amen.
Well, Mark, thank you for that. And, yeah, you nailed it on the head. Our hearts and prayers are out with the Rufus Racing family, and we're doing it for Zandy once again, and it's going to be a great day. So, Mark, always a pleasure. Thanks for racing with us yesterday. Thanks for keeping us safe today, and we're about to go racing. So thanks again, Mark Welch. Appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks.
So, Jim, it's about to go down. We're going to start out with the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class mixed in with the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class. So there's two different races racing at the same exact time. They are scored separately. Today's race is going to be a 5-mile lap. It's an hour and a half plus 1 lap, so it's going to be a wild race. Yesterday, if you watched it, you saw the course. Today, we're going to add waterfall. You go up waterfall, up the chute, through the woods, down Viagra, where the NRRA raced the other evening. And then you come out of the woods, and there's a one joker line we're adding. It's nosebleed. Just as you come down Viagra, go left about 100 feet, and you have to run that one time and only once. And it's probably I'm going to say a 6-foot undercut ledge. It's really gnarly. So that's going to throw a lot of strategy in today's game.
It is indeed, Miles. This is going to be very special indeed. Now, yesterday during the UTV race, we saw something up to 60 flat tyres out there on track. And it was amazing, the attrition that we saw.
Multiple flat tyres at once sometimes.
Absolutely. We saw Shannon Campbell. He had 2 flats at one time. But this race is not going to be run by driving as hard as you can. This race is going to be run tactically. So these guys have got to think about what they're going to do. Are the leaders going to go out and try and get clear air? Are they just going to back down and try and hold the pack behind them? It's going to be really interesting to see. But I got a feeling we're going to see a 50-50. I think we're going to see half that field sprinting hard, and we're going to see the other half. They're just going to try and box smart and play safe.
I think you're 100% correct. It's going to be very interesting to see how it all shakes out. I'm going to kind of call it a sprint endurance because you're going to have to push at some points, but there's a lot of obstacles where you have to save those tires. And remember, this first class is only on DOT tires, 37-inch DOT tires. So later on today, you'll see race tires. These aren't race tires. These are what you put on your Jeep, on your trail or tow rig to get down the road. So
they are indeed. There's another point to this as well. Now, what's happening out there? There's not many places where you're going to get ruts, but where they are getting ruts, they're going to starting to get deeper and deeper and deeper.
And the sidewall will have some rocks in it.
You
Absolutely.
got it. Those sidewalls are going to be unprotected. They're going to be coming in there, particularly on those DOT tires. So these guys have got to be really, really careful. Do they bleed a couple of seconds just to cut out the ruts and to protect those sidewalls, or do they go hell for leather and nail it through there?
Yeah, I mean, because that berm's going to pick you up a lot of speed as you go through there. So if you go on the outside, you're going to push and slide, so you're going to lose a few seconds. But is this race going to be won by seconds, by minutes? Man, it's going to be
it's going to be really interesting. But I've got a feeling if I was not one of the top runners, I would actually be really keen on this race because I've got a feeling we're going to see some different people on the top step today. Guys we've never seen on the top step before.
We saw that in the UTV race yesterday. The top names were up front. They were doing well. Dropped out. Paul Wolf, Jamie McCoy. We saw it on and on. Shannon Campbell was up there out. Adam Kennett, he had a great run. Last lap, lost something silly.
Absolutely.
Terry Madden, same thing. I mean,
exactly.
It was.
And it's always going to be that small part that lets you down. This course is so unbelievably unforgiving. It is just brutal in every sense of the words. Then, of course, we're throwing in those extra lines. We've got the waterfall, we've got the chute, we've got the woods, and as you say, they've got to go one time up Nosebleed. Now, Nosebleed's one of those really interesting little trails. You're saying it's like a 6-foot jump up. It's actually not. It's even worse than that. It's like
it's undercut.
Yeah, it's undercut, and it's like a triple jump. You have to get it in the right place. Watching people trying to do the line the other day, I was even watching Lauren Healy, and Lauren wasn't having it easy. So
and it's a little wet because there's a little bit of water coming down.
There's a little bit of water down there, and let's not forget, back to that DOT tyre thing, they're not running stickies. So they're going to be running a hard compound tyre trying to get up Nosebleed. Could be awkward, could be a bottleneck, we'll wait and see. But there is going to be a winch point above there as well. So if these guys do
and recovery
from
the bottom, because somebody's going to roll over there.
Exactly. So there could be some strategy here as well. Do you just take to the winch straight away and not try to drive, save your car, or do you just pummel it and go for it? I mean, it's going to be interesting, but also the waterfall is going to be another one.
I was just going to say that. We're about to start. We're less than a minute away, 2 at a time, 30-second increments. This race is on adjusted time, and we are off and running. Brent Harrell and Ryan Taylor taking off. Who's going to make it to the waterfall first? And that's what we were just talking about. I think the waterfall right now is going to be very, very interesting because it's there's 2 lines up it, but people are going to have some struggles on it. It's wet as well, and it's going to be very interesting to see how this shakes out.
It is indeed. That waterfall is going to be very, very important indeed. During pre-running, I was down there, and I was watching some cars really smash it up, doing it really simple. Other cars really, really struggling. I think we're going to have a bottleneck there, certainly by second lap of the race.
And the second row, Tony Howard and Woody Rose taking off.
Yeah, Woody Rose, he's really impressed. I was watching him out on pre-running. Carl is really smart. That Trent Fab car just keeps pulling and pulling and pulling. But Brent Harrell, who's our lead car on course at the moment, he is going to be the guy to beat. He's got a target on his back, and I think genuinely he is the fastest man in 4,800 right now.
I think you're right. Him and Woody Rose will be tough to beat, but don't forget we got Jeremy Jones. We got a pretty stacked list out here.
Oh, there's some amazing vehicles out here, that's for sure.
In the third row, it's Sean Reisky and Matt Trevino taking off.
Okay, now we're back out on course. We're going to be starting to see our lead vehicles picking their way down through here.
So on the right here is coming down Viagra, so we have to go down a little bit further around the corner, and we'll see the first little waterfall section.
Yep. So we're just hanging around.
And look at the great crowd already out there checking it out.
Indeed. So this is the back side of the course, and the lead cars won't be down here for about another minute yet, I wouldn't have thought.
And taking off right now is Jeremy Jones and Eric Weichel. Jeremy Jones and Dan Young out there. Eric Weichel and Wade running around. I don't see much action to the right of our screen at Waterfall. And there comes Brent Harrell and Ryan Taylor. They're about 30 seconds away from that waterfall section. So Brent Harrell with the early lead. And this is a fun section. So this from center course, it's 100 feet, 50 feet to each side. Brent Harrell's on the right side. It's a little smoother, but I think it's going to be faster. Ryan Taylor took the more direct route, but they are about to head up the waterfall section, so hopefully we can stay with this camera and watch them because this is going to be very interesting. I want you to see how tough this obstacle is.
Now, there's about 4 different lines up this waterfall option. And there's Ryan Taylor there, just picking his way through.
So Rick Lavezzo and Ryan Webb out on course, taking off.
And Rick Lavezzo is the lead car in our 4500s.
And taking off the line right now is Trevor Fultz and Ken Goodall.
Okay, so our lead cars, it looks like they have already been up the waterfall. That's it. We're hoping to get some camera assets there very shortly and be able to show you a bit more action.
Getting ready to take off is Sean Rance and Cody St. Clair.
Sean Rance, of course, driving the OG Bronco.
He's been running that before Broncos were cool. I love that steel body car. Remember, there's Ford contingency money on the line. If you're running a grill and a Ford Performance, you get some money or for the either.
Indeed, we've got 28 runners and riders in the 4,800 and 4,500 class. Oh, and look at this already.
So Tony Howard and Sean Reisky. So there's 2 lines. There's a left line and a right line. Ooh, Matt Trevino already has a right front flat tire.
Yeah, that's bad break there for Matt.
Sean Reisky's giving her the juice. That's a pretty tough little obstacle right here. And Matt Trevino with that right front flat tire is going to be tough.
Yeah, now this is, of course, this very, very difficult indeed. Now, Matt Trevino is coming up into the block hole, but he really could, if he wanted to.
There's a crack on your right.
There's a crack on the right-hand side.
Off the line right now is Brian Trimp and Garrett Humston.
And all this time, these guys are held up. Those lead cars are getting further and further away.
And it's probably backing up more and more behind them. So we'll have 28 cars taking on the line this morning.
Yeah, Matt Trevino left the line in 6th position, so already look at this stack of cars here.
So Sean Reisky, I think this is going to be the better line for him.
Yeah, Sean Reisky there.
Oh, gets a little bellied out. There's Travis Cook ready to help.
I personally think that this is the line.
So this is what we were worried about. So now it's Brent Harrell and Ryan Taylor really running away with this race. Now it's starting to bottleneck a little bit, and people are going to get impatient. So what if this is no outside assistance other than MAO and Ultra 4 help, but fellow drivers and competitors can't help. So if it was me, if I was 5 or 6 cars back, I'd send my co-driver out there to help them get up.
Absolutely.
That way I can get up.
Yeah, equally, I might be tempted to leave my co-driver there.
I've heard some strategy about that, especially on the Joker line.
Yeah.
So Dwayne Garrettson and Diesel Crinch just took off, and Greg Neff and Ned Lamming.
Yeah, okay, so we've got already this, we've got one of our course workers helping Sean with his winch. It's like a winch, but it's much smaller.
Jesse Oliver and Justin Barth taking off. Passing by the AMSOIL hot pits.
And the lap today is a little bit over 5 miles, including all of the Joker lines, as we watch there.
That's Ryan Taylor coming down the rigid little blue, and look, another left rear flat tire.
Yep,
so we'll see if he stops and changes that or not.
It looks like he's probably going to do exactly that.
Oh, Doc Jones and Eric Weichel heading up that left line.
Oh, Eric Weichel there, just picking the power perfectly. Beautiful run there.
So Rick Levezzo trying that left side.
Now, Rick Levezzo is our lead car in the 4500s, qualified very strongly yesterday.
Shelby St. Clair and Troy Digby taking off. Sean Reisky still struggling on that right side.
Yeah, it looks like he's actually, I think that left front's not pulling.
I think you're correct.
So it looks like he's already had a bit of a break, and look at that. These cars are starting to power their way up there.
Yeah, left front is not pulling. Tough
it's not pulling at all, and he's winching to the side as well, so tough break there.
Taking off the line right now is Brian Moore and Andrew Gorman. Sean Reisky still struggling. There's Ken Goodall and Rick Levezzo, both in the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class. Tough break for Sean Reisky.
Yeah, Kenneth Goodall.
Kenneth's got his son Logan riding shotgun with him.
This is one of those obstacles. It's very difficult to drive up to and have a stop. You've really got to have a flow as you approach it so you can keep that momentum beautifully done.
Yeah, momentum is key, absolutely.
Yeah,
Sometimes you have to get up there and give her a good bump. So Matthew Weiss and Jeff Martin taking the line. So all 28 competitors are out on course on this 5-mile lap. Hour and a half plus 1. Ryan Webb on the left side. There's Dwayne Garrettson coming to screen. Yep. Rick Levezzo trying the crack on the right side. And now that's coming down Viagra. Video does not do this justice. That is extremely steep.
Yeah, there's also a kick about halfway down, so you drop down a ledge, and it really makes you pucker up.
And
it's
right
a
here,
very tough line.
And now if he takes a hard left, yes, this is the Joker line. So there's one car going up here. Eric Weichel's trying the same. And for strategy reasons, I would take this. If nobody's in there, I'd try it.
Absolutely. You've got to take this line as soon as you can. Get it out of the way, and it's done. And Eric Weichel does a perfect job there. Picks his line, puts that front left wheel up there, gives it a blip, and up she pops. But even when you get to the top here, you've got to be so careful. There's so many sharp rocks just trying to pull you out of the way. And Rick Levezzo's nearly got the line. And Ryan Webb there, he's still trying to punch that left-hand side. Then now the left-hand side, you can't see clearly on the video, but there's water coming down there, so your tyres are wet. It's really nasty. And we've got a stack of cars here now. Now, let's not forget, our lead cars are pushing out into the front at the moment. Oh, and it looks like is that another flat tyre? It is.
So that's Fultz having some issues on the Joker. So 56 of Brent Harrell, 406 of Eric Weichel, and the 4837 on Jeremy Jones have all cleared the Joker line. This is going to be a lot of strategy, and I would take this early with a fresh car because that's a pretty gnarly climb. You don't want to hit it with a hurt car later in the race, and it could be bottlenecked at that time.
Yeah, we've got a bottleneck here right now, though. This is proving to be very tough indeed, as we're looking at number 26, which is Dwayne Garrettson. Now, we saw Miles interviewing him earlier today, and he's supremely confident about his chances in this race. Let's see what he can do.
And getting through my PCI race radio, it sounds like the 4561 of Cody St. Clair is already out of the race. Tough break for him.
That's a real shame. Cody's one of our seasoned competitors. That's the 4514, just making that look easy. Troy Digby there, just crawling on up.
Yeah, Cody
And
St.
Dwayne
Clair has
Garrison finally finds the line. Now, are we going to get lap traffic here when these lead cars come back round? Are there still going to be people trying to get out that waterfall?
It'll be
Bet
hard to
against it.
tell, yeah. So Ryan Taylor still with that flat tire, nursing it. Woody Rose right in front of him. Where's Brent Harrell? He's out front with a pretty good lead.
Now, this is interesting for me. Now, they come around the back of the hot pit. They are not allowed to enter the hot pit, but what they can do is stop next to the hot pit and actually then, if they wanted to, change the tyre themselves right next to their pit. So their pit crew couldn't help them, but they can actually take tools and things from the pit.
Correct,
So,
and the pit crew can watch them work on their own car on the other side.
So if I'd have been Ryan Taylor there, I think I would have stopped at the back of my pit, made the change, and then got on my way again. Yes, you lose a bit of time, but better to have tyres under you than try and smash calipers apart running with flats.
There's Woody Rose, the 4871, and that Trent Fab chassis.
I have to say, that car just looks so good, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's
low center of gravity. Looks absolutely
There's
awesome.
Brian Moore with those ORIs trying it. There's Shelby St. Clair. He's the very first race with us for Ultra 4. He's been in the rock bouncing world for quite a while, but he's out there running strong.
Yeah, he needs to. You see the way he just came up and he came to a stop. You got to come back. You just got to pick that line, hold that flow, hold that rhythm. It's difficult to do. And let's not forget, these cars are not running sticky tyres. That makes it all the more difficult with these DOT tyres on these wet waterfalls.
Well, we'll give you a quick little rundown on what these classes actually are. The 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class, you can have 2.5 shocks per corner, limited to 14 inches of travel. Mechanical steering and maximum of a 37-inch DOT tire. Front-mounted engine, but unlimited horsepower.
Yeah, and then in the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legend class, you can have a front and rear mounted engine with unlimited horsepower. The vehicle must contain 2 seats side by side, a single shock per corner, and a maximum again of a 37-inch DOT tyre. Only solid axle is allowed, and new specific cars can be built, or you can use older retired 4400 class cars. Oh,
That's
come
exactly
on.
what Casey Gilbert did. He took his old Legends car, put it on a single shock.
So close.
And he's
Smoke
out
him
here
up there.
racing.
So Shelby Sinclair there, just so tantalizingly close to the top of the edge as we want Rick Levezzo. Oh, and he's got a
The
flat
left,
tire.
yeah, it looks like a soft left rear as well.
Are we
So
gonna keep
tires.
count? Are we gonna keep count,
I can't
Miles?
count that high. I got my shoes on.
And there is Woody Rose.
Up the Yukon launch section.
Round Chips Rock. There is number 5. That is Matthew Wees. Come on, Matthew. Punch her up there. Oh, so close.
Ken Goodall just clears the joker line. And look at
nice.
Ryan Taylor with
Yeah.
that left rear flat. Still pushing through.
Got to keep moving.
Him
Gotta
and
keep
Corey
moving.
Day still pushing.
Once you made that commitment, you got to stick to it.
There's Matt Weiss in the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class. There's Shelby St. Clair.
Yeah, so Shelby's managed to
And
get
this is
clear.
a great shot of Viagra. Look how steep this is. And there's that ledge Jim was talking about earlier. And you just kind of have to, there you go, bounce right on down. Oh, lost a little number plate off the front of his car. Oh, we have one car.
That looked like Shelby St. Clair actually pulled over to the side of the track.
There's
and here we
Eric
are. We're back in the
Weichel.
Bronco Rocks now.
Jeremy Doc Jones in the back.
Jeremy Jones's car just sounds so good.
Oh, it
doesn't
rips, yeah. I love
absolutely
the
roars.
high-pitched tune it's got.
And this is making your way up towards Little Blue. Now, I'm hoping we're going to see Little Blue today.
And we're heading towards Little Blue as
Oh,
we speak,
indeed.
as we're following Diesel Krentz. And I just got a fun little text from Casey Gilbert. He is saying exactly what I said just a little bit ago on why don't the co-drivers of the cars get out at Waterfall and help them out? I mean, when you help them out, you're helping yourself.
Absolutely. But these people, his first lap of the race, they hadn't planned for that. Their race plan would have been, well, we're going to drive it. And these guys clearly are not going to drive it. So I have to say, if it was me, I'd be very, very tempted to leave my co-driver at the top of the climb.
So Woody Rose is the first one out on their second lap. Where is Brent Harrell?
Brent
12.
Harrell, we've just seen Brent Harrell. It looked like he was picking his way through the Bronco Rocks. So maybe he's had a flat tire, lost a couple of minutes. And that's Kenneth Goodall we're seeing now on track, who's just come down Little Blue.
So Woody Rose with a 12:15.
Yeah, so Woody Rose is our current race leader. First lap of a 12:15.
But I'm pretty sure he did not run the joker line yet. So playing a little strategy. There's Tony Howard hitting a little water section.
Now, we saw the UTVs hitting that water section absolutely flat out yesterday.
So this is what you're talking about. Woody Rose should be coming here and within the next minute or so, and there's still a couple of cars here stuck and a couple cars broke, changing tires.
Yep.
There's Brian Trimp in the back, and now Brian Moore. There's Diesel Krentz.
As we're saying, this lap traffic is already going to cause a problem on lap 2.
What a wonderful way to start out the 2022 Method Race Wheels Legends of the Fall. We have to give a huge shout out to Can-Am, Ford, Bronco, Monster Energy, Optima Tires, Optima Batteries, 4-Wheel Parts, and Progressive.
Yeah, King Shots, Laser Nut, Griffin Radiator, VP Racing Fuels, Nitto Tire, Holly EFI, and King of the Hammers.
Spider Tracks, Recaro Seats, Baja Jerky, Wheelin'.
AMSOIL, Method Race Wheels, Axel RC Cars, and PCI Race Radios.
ARB, Rigid, Brannick Motorsports, Tread Lightly, and Action Sports Canopy.
Off the Grid Clothing, MBRP, Yukon Gear and Axle, HCR, and Warn Factor 55 as we watch Dwayne Garrettson there making his way up. Now, it looked like he had to winch that line.
This is Ryan Webb.
Sorry, it's Ryan Webb. You're quite right. I do apologize.
With Kryptonite Customs, and it looks like his co-driver was out there helping him winch up there.
Yeah, and that's the 896. Of Brian Tent making his way up there very nicely indeed. And very shortly, our race leader, Stephen Woody Rose Jr., he's going to be coming around there.
So he usually has his son Blaine riding with him. I can't tell if that's him or if it's Chris Branton.
Now, when he gets back in the car, he's got to get the door nets on. He's got to get the harnesses on. And it's so tempting just to drive off, but you can't. You have to get safety first.
There's Trevor Foltz in the back. We saw him with a low tire. Back to Dwayne Garrettson. Had a fun interview with him at the bottom of the lake or at the dam. It was an awesome little chat and a beautiful background. Dwayne Garrettson is in the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle modified class.
Okay, we've got our second car has now crossed the line. Ryan Taylor has now crossed the line, but he will be going into the pits almost certainly. And yeah, I can see his car currently in the pits. They're actually changing that left rear tire at the moment as we speak.
So Team Indiana in full force down there making it happen. But moving into second position goes to Tony Howard in that Liberty Mountain fabrication car.
Yeah, so Tony Howard, he's now our physical second place on course.
Remember, this race is on adjusted time. We took off 2 at a time in 30-second increments.
And look at this. That was Shelby Sinclair. They're struggling to get up that joker line called Nosebleed.
And here's Andrew Gorman making a pass on the outside as he's heading into the Bronco Bowlers around. He's trying to get around Justin Barth, having a little drag race. Jimmy's 4x4 cars trying to battle it out.
Yeah, we're already starting to get more cars. Brent Harrell's now across the line as well, as has Ryan Taylor and Eric Weichel.
So Brent Harrell has a left rear flat as well. So, yeah, these tires are taking an absolute beating today.
Yeah, we're less than 2 laps in and we're already seeing multiple flats.
Remember, this is a double points race for nationals and both East and West championship for the Nitto National Championship.
And this is Greg Neef we just saw there. And there's Rick
left
Levezzo also.
Left front flat tire.
Yeah, he's been nursing that one for a little while now.
Back to Andrew Gorman and Justin Barth. So Justin Barth was able to hold off Gorman. For now, we'll see how it shakes out.
Let's not forget, this is an hour and a half plus 1 lap. There's so much racing here to do. You don't have to push hard. There's going to be so many broken cars on course. Strategy, strategy, strategy. This is Greg Neef again. Can he get the line? Yes, he can. And that's what we were talking about earlier, having that flow. You saw he approached the rocks, kept the flow going, kept the momentum, and just popped it up on top.
So Ryan Taylor is out of the AMSOIL hot pits, but coming in is Eric Weichel.
Yeah, it looks like Brent Harrell's going back out on track now, so that's great to see.
That was a quick flat, but I think he drove it long enough. He lost quite a bit of time.
He did indeed.
He's getting bumped down the line quite a bit. Looks like he's in 7th in adjusted time right now.
7th on adjusted time, so our top
plus
7
a tire lap.
So our top 7 at this present moment in time is Brent Harrell in 7th. In 6th is Sean Raschke. In 5th is Tony Howard. In 4th is Jeremy Jones. In 3rd is Ryan Taylor. In 2nd is Eric Weichel. In 1st position at the moment, though, it is Stephen Woody Rose Jr.
And there's Brian Trimp as he's heading down the rigid Little Blues section. This is a super steep spot. The normal deal, you go up this down right through the crack for fun. Oh, Matt Tribino's still having some issues. There's Garrett Humpston having some issues. Troy Digby and his buddy Kyle riding shotgun with him. There's Tony Howard. He's on I believe, physically in 2nd position. And the waterfall is open for him. So this is a great shot. You can see the left line and a right line.
But again, did you see the flow? He just held that flow there, kept that car moving, and up she pops. Nice driving.
There's Dwayne Garrettson, the Ricky Bobby of Ultra 4. Looked like he was getting ready to hit the Recaro Rock section.
This is Jeremy Jones coming up. Now taking it that right-hand line. I actually really like this line. I think it's a better line personally, but it's tough, and you've got to be millimetrically perfect on it. There she blows. Oh, pops it up. Trent Fabcar just making short work of that line. There's the 886 of Sean Radsky. It doesn't look like that near side front's pulling. Oh, sorry, offside front for you guys.
So Dwayne Garrettson crosses the line. So that is your leader for the 4,500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class, Dwayne Garrettson.
Currently sitting in 5th position overall. And it's amazing how this race changes so fast. And we are only on lap 2.
There's our leader, Dwayne Garrettson, in the 4,500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class. But yeah, it's just our second lap. We are 20 minutes into this hour-and-a-half race plus a lap. There's Troy Digby. And there's Ned Lamming. That's Roscoe's old car. Great to see it back in action.
I was going to say, that's one of the old timers, that one there.
I believe that's Brannick Motorsports' first chassis they ever built. It's got some Ford Performance horsepower under the hood. There's Ken Goodall with his son Logan Goodall riding shotgun.
Yeah, making his way around Chips Rock. And it's called Chips Rock because Chip McLaughlin managed to catch a tire during pre-running.
Pre-running. Come on, Chip.
Now we're going to see Chip out here this afternoon. He's going to be running the number 24, which of course, we're going to roll over on course.
So that's Greg Neff upside down, and that's the main line as you bypass the nosedive.
Yeah, now this is interesting. Now they might be able to get, I'm just looking there, I think you can probably get round the woods.
Oh, you're right. There is one more line, around. And this one's actually smoother, but it's really tight in the trees.
It is indeed. There's multiple lines here. But they all go to the same place. They all take you to the top of Little Blue.
There's Diesel Krentz pulled over, co-driver getting out, evaluating the situation. Not sure quite what's going on. But the 2022 Method Race Wheels Legends of the Fall is adding up to be one heck of a show. I hope you guys and the gals back home are enjoying it as much as we are.
And that's Eric Weichel there. Now he's come round, he's caught in lap traffic, trying to get up to the waterfall.
And don't forget, just like we have up here in the Nitto studio, go to live.ultra4racing.com for our live timing.
Okay, now check this out. This is Little Blue. This is the Joker line. Oh, it's not a Joker line. This is the line you've got to take if you want to be fast.
Yeah, we saw the Broncos taking that yesterday morning. I was overly impressed with that. But, yeah, that's the fast line if you want to go.
It is indeed. Saves around about 30 seconds a lap, and that's massive.
Make sure you download the MAO app on Google or Apple. Go to ultra4racing.com/live. Hit the Ultra4 USA and Mid-America Outdoors Facebook and the YouTube channels and start a watch party. Share it, hashtag it up, and let's get this thing going. And if you want to go to the MAO app, you can. We're racing over at Mid-America Outdoors as well for the side-by-side championship series and here in South Grand Lake for the Ultra4 Nitto National Championship. So you can go to that app and choose which feed you want to watch, switch back and forth, and we'll have some fun with it.
Yeah, that was Tony Howard we saw a minute ago, and this here is car 866, which is Sean Raskey, and he's obviously got a problem with that front end. That left front tyre just wasn't pulling at all, so he's reaching for the winch.
So Sean Rance and Woody Rose have cleared the Joker line. So Woody Rose, our physical race leader, has made the Joker line, so that takes that drama out of the race for him.
Yeah, now he's got to box real clever here. He's got to think about it. He's got to be tactical now. He has a lead. He just needs to back it off, save those tyres, cut out the ruts. Don't sit in those deep ruts. Make sure he's protecting those tyres because tyres are going to be everything today.
That's Brian Trimp on screen, passing Nasty Girl. We'll be racing that tonight with the NRRA. Timmy Cameron and company will be up there blasting that, and that is one nasty hill. You will want to tune in for that for sure. Just getting some confirmation. It sounds like Matthew Weiss is out of the race. Tough break for him. Sean Reisky still trying to get up and out of here.
That front wheel just isn't pulling at all. In fact, it doesn't actually look like the front shaft is driving. So maybe he doesn't realize it's jumped out of gear or something, but there's certainly no front drive there on Sean's car.
Grizz from Yellowstone Off-Road Racing Association is tuned in. Thanks. We'll see you and Aaron later on this season.
And this is Kenneth Goodall in the 4,500 class.
We've teamed up with Yellowstone Off-Road Racing for Ultra4 race number 3 up in Broadview, Montana. May 18th through the 21st, so we'll be up there racing with them later on next year.
Yeah. We've got 15 vehicles that have now completed one lap and are out on their second lap. And we shouldn't be long before we see our current race leader, who was Stephen Woody Rose Jr., coming round to complete his second lap. So keep your eyes open for him. And that's Rick Levezzo there making his way up onto the waterfall.
Chuck Mays is also tuned in watching. We got a lot of people all over the world tuning in, so thanks to each and every one of you. We thoroughly appreciate it.
We do indeed. And on the left there is Justin Barth. He's trying to burn those tyres up, trying to get some traction. Rick Lavezzo in the centre in that beautiful silver car. And he's carrying some serious horsepower. Rumoured to be over 700.
Pretty impressive for sure. Looks like Diesel Krentz is coming through the Recaro Rock section. Then we switch back to Jesse Oliver. This is a fun section. It's really fast. It flows well. And then you dive into the trees with multiple lanes.
And this is one of those sections you have to be so careful not to catch a sidewall.
There's Shelby St. Clair. We saw him having issues earlier. Great to see him moving once again. That's an old Tribe 16 car he just purchased from Dana Hale. Great to see all the Tribe cars out there running. I believe that was Tony Howard, and he's running up front still.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be many cars today who are actually going to be able to clear this course without having a problem, that's for sure. And still, Justin Barth is trying to force his way up the waterfall. Rick Lavezzo's obviously moved on.
There's Garrett Humpston on the right side. Makes that, almost makes it befell in the cracker. He'll have to back up left.
It just looked like he had it there, didn't he? I think we're back with Tony Howard now, is that?
Yep, back to Tony Howard, heading the Bronco Boulders.
And these boulders are massive. The camera really struggles to show them in the shadows.
If
you've got to take so much care there.
There's Diesel Krentz heading into the AMSOIL hot pits.
I love that car. That reminds me of the sport, the Poison Spider.
Yeah, the
cars.
Crispy.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
And if you are just tuning in, I am Miles Hasquis alongside my friend Jim Marsden from across the pond. This is the 2022 Method Race Wheels Legends of the Fall in the South Grand Lake Disney Langley Recreation Area.
Okay, I think very shortly we're going to see our current race leader, who's Stephen
Woody
Rose. There he is. He's crossing the line and will be starting his third lap.
Oh, but he missed the hot pits.
He missed the hot pit. Now, what happens here? He's going to cut in. I think he'll be absolutely fine. There was no...
That didn't save him any time for sure.
It didn't save him any time.
It cost him some time.
So, yeah,
but
he'll be fine.
Another flat tire on the left rear of Woody Rose.
Now, let's see what kind of lead that Woody Rose has.
Looks like Brian Trimp is in the hot pits as well. Here comes Ken Goodall heading down the rigid Little Blue area.
Little Blue.
Oh, is that a right front flat tire for him as well?
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Wow, the attrition is definitely setting in heavy.
Yeah, and that's the 45-1-4 of Troy Digby. And still Justin Barth is trying to force his way up this waterfall.
He started on the left side and moved over to the right.
Yeah. Now, he saw the way that car 3 there, which is Trevor Fultz. He just approached the car. He just approached it. Now look here. Justin Barth's now got a flat tire.
Left rear flat for Justin Barth.
And there's no point attempting this with a flat tire. You really might
back,
as well. Yeah.
Back out of the way. Oh, taking a little bump.
Look at that. It's just smashed it away from the bead there.
So, yeah, if it was me, I'd back up out of the way, change that tire, give yourself a fresh shot at it.
Absolutely.
We still have a lot of racing yet to come. We're only about a half hour into this hour-and-a-half race plus a lap. There's James Mahoney crawling out of Rick Lavezzo's car. They're at the nosedive section crawling up. So he's playing it smart, and I like this strategy. Get up, get over it, and keep on going. Save the car.
Yeah, now they're going to be winching up this. It's a little bit different to the winching I do at home.
There's Brian Moore. His first race ever with us was in Crandon.
Now, we saw him yesterday in qualifying doing donuts as he crossed the line. I said to him, what was that about? And he said, I actually don't know.
He lost control and just pin it to win it. Win and down, throttle out.
He said, I had no idea what happened. We just ended up doing donuts. He had a smile on his face and he was enjoying it. And that's why all these guys and girls are out here. It's a fantastic course. And if it was easy, everyone would be doing it.
There's Jesse Oliver in the Bronco Boulder, still moving along. He's been racing with us for a long time, a grassroots team, and still pushing strong. Looks like Brian Trimp's going to be pulling in the AMSOIL hot pits as well for another flat tire. So that's strategy. What do? Do you back it down a little bit? Or you just keep pushing and getting flats?
Yeah, I've got to say, if I was Stephen Woody Rose Jr. right now, I'd be sitting there and I'd be saying to myself, do you know what? I'm going to back it right off. I'm just going to take it nice and easy. I've got a huge buffer. I mean, nobody has started their third lap yet. He has a real clear air. I've been pulling it down by about 25%, just sitting back and just taking it easy. Now, you've got to be a bit careful with that, though, because these cars are designed to work at race speed. And so when you get too far off race speed, they actually start to hurt the car even more. So it's going to be a very clever game he's going to have to play.
And the fastest lap of the day thus far is Woody Rose with a 12:15. We were guessing about a 10-minute lap for the 4400 car, so I think that 12-minute lap is going to be hard to beat in the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class and the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class.
Yeah, as we watch Dwayne Garrettson now approaching the waterfall again. I don't think he's going to get that. He just hasn't got that flow. You need to come up moving.
And also he was kissing Brian Moore's tires, so the line just wasn't quite there for him. But he's definitely heating up those Yokohama tires and letting them eat as Brian Moore's winching the right side of the waterfall. Oh, Jeremy Jones, where's he going to move up to? Physically second position, I believe.
He is indeed, so he crosses the line. And he's nearly 4 minutes behind Stephen Woody Rose Jr. That's a massive lead.
And those are both Trent Fab cars way out front in the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class.
And that's already on adjusted time as well, so it's a huge lead out there at the moment for Stevie and Woody Rose Jr. And those Trent Fab cars showing why they're so good. And Tony Howard crosses the line as well to start his third lap. So he's having a great race so far.
Rick Levezzo does winch up the nosebleed section, so he is through the Joker.
And look at this, we've got a queue of cars now, and there is our leader.
So he's stuck in the bottleneck. So remember, it's a 4-minute lead. It's going to lose that real quick. So
absolutely.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's going to have to make some decisions here.
And then Ryan Webb's just to his right.
Yeah, he's not going to want to let him by.
And do they know that's the leader? I'm not 100% sure.
They won't have a clue.
You can't see it.
They're racing their own race. Look at this, Stephen Woody Rose Jr. This is nice flow here. Can he keep that flow moving? Oh.
So back up a little bit, and sometimes you just got to bump it.
Yeah, but also you don't want to go too far back because you're scared that someone's going to punch in your line.
And look at that, up and through. So he only lost probably about 30 seconds there. Not too bad at all.
Well, we don't know how long
what he
actually
stopped for.
There.
Woody Rose, our physical race leader, has stopped at the top of waterfall section. There's Dwayne Garrett making it up the right side.
Yeah, Dwayne there done a nice job.
And look at the parking lot at the top of waterfall.
And there's Kenneth Goodall.
Still with that right front flat tire.
Yeah, just
picking
his
look,
way.
He's already changed it once. I don't see a tire on the back.
No, I think you're quite right.
Justin Barth with a left flat and a right front flat.
So, yeah, he's going to have to make some decisions. I'll be changing the front. It looks like that wheel's completely destroyed on the front.
So I don't think he's made it up the waterfall section. So now he's got two flats. What are they going to do? And
that's after waterfall. He's already come down Little Blue by the looks of it, and he's sitting back round by the gravel section.
Okay. There's Jesse Oliver heading through the Method Race Wheel start-finish line, heading out for his third lap.
And Brent Harrell has also now crossed the line and is coming through for his third lap. And Eric Weichel, he'll also be coming through very shortly.
So Eric Weichel with a great run under his belt.
As we watch Jeremy Jones making his way up the waterfall in the Trent Fab car, making it look very easy indeed. Okay, let's just have a quick look at our top five. In fifth position, we have Brent Harrell.
In fourth position, we have Eric Weichel.
In third is Tony Howard.
In second spot is Doc Jeremy Jones.
And then it's the young man himself, it's Stephen Woody Rose Jr., and he's absolutely killing it out front at the moment. As we watch Shelby Sinclair trying to make his way back up that waterfall one more time.
And Jim, you were absolutely correct. I'm getting confirmation from on course that Justin Barth is at the bottom of Little Blues. But now with a broken wheel and a flat tire.
Don't worry, man. I got you. Yeah, I'm hoping we can get some more footage from Little Blue because that's one of the major players on this course. There's so many multiple different lines, and you can save up to 30 seconds by taking differential lines. I'd really like to know what our leader's doing there, which line he's taking.
There is action all over this race car. It's absolutely amazing. Looks like that's Sean Rance coming through the water crossing section just before the start-finish line.
Yeah, and he could well be our sixth car. They'll be starting their third lap.
So he may be in the lead for the 4,500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class because we're watching Dwayne Garrettson struggle a little bit.
We'll soon find out.
Which lap's he on?
Now. I'm not sure which lap he's actually on. I think he might still be on lap 1.
He may have just finished his first lap, so he had some issues out on course. But now he's in the Amsoil hot pits. Hopefully he can get it squared away. And there's Kenneth Goodall.
Kenneth Goodall.
He just cleared the Recaro Rock section.
Also carrying a flat tire. And it's the 896 there. Brian Temp. Oh, he throws it up onto the waterfall, but just can't make it quite stick.
And there he makes it up on the right side.
Yeah, beautifully done there by Brian.
And look how big that crack is on the top. And then if you follow up here, it's an awesome half pipe. Before you head down Viagra. There's Shelby St. Clair.
Oh, Shelby, you need to... So easy to sit here and say what he needs to do, isn't it?
It's easier to talk about it than do it.
See if we can talk him up there. It's all about the flow. Keep it moving, keep it... No. Frustration level 10 watching.
Dwayne Garrettson has cleared the Joker line.
And there is car number 3, which is Trevor Fultz, of course. We saw him with a flat tyre earlier on. But then I don't think there's many cars we've seen that haven't had flat tyres.
There's a lot to be said there. There's a little bit of steam coming off the Fultz car, I'm not sure.
Yeah, don't forget, though, the engines will be getting hot now. The transmission will be getting hot, so you're going to see some breather smoke. As we're watching Ryan Taylor there. In another Trent Fab car. Now, Ryan Taylor was second off the line earlier today. And he's not having it all his own way at the moment.
Putting that Trent Fab car to work.
The difference between getting up these hills and not getting up these hills is literally a few millimeters. And there he goes. Finds the line, punches it up, and away he goes.
We got one of our course workers, Seth, out on course. He said the majority of cars coming to the Yukon launch staircase section with flat tires and destroyed wheels. So it's a common theme out there on course, just like we're seeing.
Yeah, and that's Tony Howard there. Made short work of the waterfall on the left-hand side. Some great stuff there from him.
I believe that is...
And we've now got 6 cars that are on their 3rd lap. In 6th position, it's Kenneth Goodall, who's also leading our 45 modified class. In 5th position is Brent Harrell in the 4800s. In 4th is Eric Weichel in the 4800s. In 3rd is Tony Howard in 4800s. In 2nd is Jeremy Jones in 4800s. But still, our current race leader is Stephen Woody Rose Jr.
And we haven't seen him have any flat tires, if I'm not mistaken, yet.
No, we saw him come into the pits earlier.
Oh, you're right. Yep.
Yes.
Everybody's had some issues.
Yep. I don't think there's going to be anyone out there today as we watch Rick Lavezzo trying to catch. Is that just
It was either Andrew Gorman or Humston. I couldn't quite tell which one it is. Both are red. Oh, Shelby St. Clair. Turtled over a little bit. We'll see if he can turn hard right and back up and save it.
And there's Cody St. Clair picking his way up.
Nope, that's Jesse Oliver.
Sorry,
Cody
Jesse
St. Clair is out of the race earlier.
Sorry, I do apologize.
No worries. I'm going to mess up more than once, I promise. But we're doing our best and having fun with it. Brian Trimp is cleared of the Joker line.
Still, we're watching Cody Sinclair. This is Shelby Sinclair, and it must be so frustrating. But you've got to reach a point where you turn around and say, "Hey, it's time to reach for the winch." And there is our physical race leader on adjusted time and on physically on course. That is Stephen Woody Rose Jr.
And all 4 tires are holding there and looking good.
It's difficult to tell which tire manufacturer he's using.
Nexen tire. Coming down the rigid little blue section is Brian Moore on those ORI struts.
Now he's gone around the
cool to see them back in action.
Yeah, that's the far line, what we call the safe line. So you have to go right the way around. Costs you an extra 30 plus seconds, but it is much safer than coming down the line you're looking at right now.
So Jim, Casey Gilbert's giving you a little grief. Start using feet and yards. He doesn't know what you mean by all your meters and whatnot.
You need to go metric, maybe.
So Brian Moore has made it down. Brian Tripp right behind him, both in the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class.
If it helps, 1 meter is about 3.5 feet. Is that okay?
All right.
Very close
to a yard. All right.
Yeah. I'll try and go
Woody
here.
Rose is still pushing strong.
There's a reason. Oh, hello. It looks like he's very low on the suspension at the moment. There's Sean Rance there on the waterfall.
And Shelby St. Clair on the left side.
Still trying to punch. He has got a winch on the front of that car, hasn't he?
I just heard somebody, yes, and it works.
Yes, and it
so
works.
he may need to use it.
Maybe someone needs to remind him it's there.
So let's go over the Nitto National Championship points going into this race real quick, Jim. For the 4,500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class on the national side, it's Rick Levezzo 1, Justin Hall 2. He's not here. He had a baby, so a huge shout-out to Justin Hall. You just had a kid. I commend you for staying home and taking care of family first for sure. We miss you, but we will see you next year for sure. Kenan Goodall sitting in third position. In the Western Series,
in the Western Series, it's Sean Rance. In second is also Kenneth Goodall. Then third is Justin Hall, we just spoke about. And fourth is Rick Levezzo. And Dwayne Garrettson. So this could be a big jump here for Rick Levezzo and Dwayne Garrettson. They could get themselves up into the top 3 in the West Coast Series.
It's going to be very interesting to see how it shakes out. In the Eastern Series, Rick Levezzo still running strong in first. Dwayne Garrettson only 6 points behind Levezzo. So it's going to be a physical finish between those two. Then it's Troy Digby, Sean Rance Sr., and Justin Hall. And then in the 4,800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class, and then on the national side for the Nitto National Championship, it's Ryan Taylor. 85 points behind him is Tony Howard. Then Andrew Gorman, Brent Harrell, and Eric Weichel are tied for fourth position. In the Western Series, it's Woody Rose, Jeremy Jones, Tony Howard, Eric Weichel, and Andrew Gorman. For the Eastern Series, it's Ryan Taylor, Sean Reisky, Trevor Foltz, Evan Shervin, and Ryan Webb. As we're watching, Doc Jones himself work that Trent Fab car through the Bronco boulders.
And there's Brent Harrell. He was our pole sitter earlier today. Flat tires have been plaguing him, so it's great to see him back on track and pushing. I say pushing. I don't think anyone's pushing today. I think everyone's got a whole dose of survival going on. It looks like our good friend here, Shelby Sinclair, has suddenly discovered he does have a winch.
And it works.
Who knew?
So Ryan Taylor has cleared the Joker line.
Okay, so now what he's discovering is he didn't clear his cable before he went racing this morning.
So we have 11 cars that have cleared the Joker line out of 28. So just shy of halfway through the field has cleared the Joker line.
Indeed, and we've got 8 vehicles that are now on their 3rd lap.
So in first place, it is Woody Rose.
In second is Jeremy Jones.
In third place, it's Tony Howard.
In fourth is Eric Weichel.
In fifth position is Brent Harrell.
Then in 6th position and leading in the 4500s is Kenneth Goodall.
In 7th position is Troy Digby, physically in 2nd place in the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class.
And in 3rd in the 4500 Modified, it is Rick Levezzo.
So that's going to be really fun to watch how this develops.
There's some great racing going on out there.
That's Ned Lamming. I believe this is his first race ever with Ultra 4 USA, so welcome to the Ultra 4 family, Ned.
Now, it looks like Shelby Sinclair is actually pulling away, so is there a problem? Is the winch not working?
Diesel Krentz has cleared the Joker line as well. There's Brian Trimp heading towards the Bronco boulders.
Yeah, I'm just watching Shelby Sinclair there, and you see he's got a problem with his winch. Always amazes me that people turn up to events and they haven't checked what I would consider to be vital equipment to make sure that it works.
Especially a track like this. Now, if you're going short course racing like we have done, a winch, you can take that out, you can save some weight and whatnot, but on a race like this, you absolutely want to make sure they're in working order.
Absolutely.
But this car's also brand new to him as well.
Fair enough.
So
we don't know what
he's still learning the car.
Yep.
There's Troy Digby with Kyle riding shotgun.
I'll guarantee you one thing, he won't do that again.
Troy Digby?
It is Troy Digby, you're quite right. Now, let's see what he can do here. Nice flow, move up to it, don't stop, keep the flow.
We'll see if he can get that Outlaw off-road fabrication machine up, and he does. So that was, he started a little slow like you were saying, but just kind of keep the momentum going and ride on up.
Do you know what? That was one of the best we've seen so far. Great stuff there for Troy Digby.
And then this is that fun little water chute going up the side.
Yeah, that water chute, we haven't actually seen it on camera yet. JT Taylor reckons we're going to see some of the big guys hitting up to 80 mile an hour going up there.
It's going to be absolutely awesome. This is the 4,500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class and the 4,800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class. It's 2 different races going on at the same time. They are scored separately. And this is the 2022 Method Race Wheels Legends of the Fall in the South Grand Lake Disney Langley Recreation Area.
Okay,
Ryan
I
Moore
can
in
tell
the
you now
Bronco
that our
Ball.
current race leader, who is Stephen Woody Rose Jr., has just crossed the line and is going out onto his 4th lap.
And we are 45 minutes into this race. Woody Rose started on the 2nd row, so Brent Harrell or Ryan Taylor would have to pass him to win.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I think Jeremy Jones has made some time up here, so we'll have a look very shortly. Jeremy Jones is going to be crossing the line very soon.
And Jeremy Jones started in 7th position.
Yeah, so adjusted time is going to be something.
It's going to be really close.
But Jeremy Jones is actually coming into the pits.
So Jeremy Jones on adjusted time is 2 minutes 23 seconds behind Woody Rose.
He is, but
and
he did
then in the
start
pits, so.
Yep.
Oh, Brent Harrell heading in the pits as well. Looks like flat tires are the common theme.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a right side flat front. I said to you yesterday, Miles, we should have set up a tyre shop down here. We'd be making a killing.
Absolutely. There's going to be a lot of recycled rubber this weekend.
Indeed there is. So we have a top 3 so far. We have Brent Harrell in 3rd position. In 2nd position is Jeremy Jones, but still out in front and still on course at the moment. It's Stephen Woody Rose Jr. Just watching Kenneth Goodall there. And that is our current race leader. That is Stephen Woody Rose Jones. Just made his way up the waterfall.
Diesel Krintz on screen.
Yeah, Diesel Krintz then. He's coming around the far side of Little Blue and been making his way down the drop.
And a familiar face I do not want to see with me here in the Nitto studio. Cody St. Clair, what's going on, buddy?
Well, we were going and bounced wrong and hit a ledge and it sheared the spindle.
Oh, sheared the spindle, so you were completely out of the race.
The only thing holding it in is the rotor and the caliper.
And you were out earlier,
yeah.
Early in the race.
It was right after the qualifier out of first.
Oh, I hate to hear that for you, and I can see it in your face. You're so bummed. You've done all this prep, all this effort, traveled all this way, and you've broken the first couple minutes. It's a heartbreaker, but that's part of racing. I know you and your dad, Anthony, will get that car back home, strip it down, and get ready for King of the Hammers for the first Ultra 4 race here in just a couple months.
Yeah, we'll have to build a new axle this time.
Oh, it's completely trashed.
Oh, yeah. Well, we had planned on building a new one, but we're for sure going to build a new one now.
You were thinking about it. Now you have to do it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Cody, again, I hate seeing you up here during your race, but thanks for coming up and filling us in.
Yeah, no problem, Miles.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep, have a good one, buddy.
Okay, it's back to the action out on course. Our current race leader is still Stephen Woody Rose Jr. in that Nexon tyre Trent Fab car. But there are cars stopped
Greg
all
Neff.
over the place now.
Jesse Oliver.
Attrition is really taking its toll. Jesse Oliver there powering his way through the water splash. Back to the 666, which is Sean Radsky. Now Sean, we thought had a problem earlier. It looked like, yeah, it still isn't. That left front wheel is not pulling at all, so he's just pushing on with that.
We saw that earlier, and we'll see if he goes into the AMSOIL hot pits. He's already blown by it once, and it sounds like Brian Trimp is having some engine problems out on course. So the attrition is going to be extremely high during this race. So it's, I can hear it. He's coming through right now. Brian Trimp is pushing on through.
Now, you know that we were saying earlier about you'd leave your co-driver there. That looks exactly what's happened here. As we were watching, saw Radsky there. It looked like his co-driver was already on the rocks. He's reaching for the winch. And that's Sean Rance there in the OG Bronco, picking his way through the Bronco rocks.
So Troy Digby has cleared the Joker line as well. So about half the field has cleared it. And we have a few cars out of the race as well.
And that is Justin Barth in the 417. Justin racing multiple races this weekend.
He raced in the 4900 Can-Am UTV class yesterday, and now he's racing the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class.
That's something that we do back in Europe, is we actually use Bluetooth communication, so when we're outside of the vehicle, we can still communicate between the driver and the co-driver. I know that's something that's not very popular over here, but I think it needs to become more popular over here. That's Kenneth Goodall now making his way up. He's been down
a
Little
soft
Blue.
right front tire once again, I believe.
Yeah, and now this is something we've got to talk about. how many of these cars have actually got enough, or how many of these teams have got enough spare tyres?
We saw that yesterday with Albert Contreras asking for help with spares. What a great race we have for the 2022 Method Race Wheels Legends of the Fall. We give a huge shout out to King Shocks, Lasernut, Griffin Radiator, VP Racing Fuels, Nitto, Holly EFI, King of the Hammers,
Can-Am, Ford, Bronco, Monster Energy, Optima Batteries, 4-Wheel Parts and Progressive Insurance.
Wheelin', Baja Jerky, Recaro Seats, Spider Tracks,
AMSOIL, Method Race Wheels, Axel RC Cars and PCI Race Radios.
Action Sports Canopy, Tread Lightly, Brannick Motorsports, Rigid, ARB.
And Warn Factor 55, HCR, Yukon Gear and Axle, MBRP and Off the Grid Clothing.
So please support who supports the sport. Without all those amazing marketing partners, we would not be racing here in South Grand Lake today.
And that was Brent Harrell there in his Paul Herschel built car, making his way up the crack line on the waterfall.
He debuted that car at King of the Hammers earlier this season, and it's an absolute work of art. And there's a left rear tire completely coming apart.
Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed there, that was Sean Radsky's co-driver. He had a broken winch rope, so tough break there, quite literally for Sean Radsky.
I believe that's Justin Barth.
It is Justin Barth. We've already seen him with 2 flats already.
And a busted wheel, remember that? So
exactly.
So he must have changed the broken wheel, and then he's just having to push through with the flat tire.
No, we just saw him a moment ago, and I didn't see him with a flat, but it was hard to tell from the other angle. So there's the 4810.
Greg Neff has cleared the Joker line.
Garrett Humston.
So I'll kind of give you a rundown on who has cleared the Joker line. Dwayne Garrettson has gone through.
Brian Taylor.
Matthew Weiss.
Brent Harrell.
Greg Neff.
Eric Weichel.
Ryan Webb.
Brian Temp.
Diesel Krintz.
Troy Digby.
Sean Rance.
And Rick Levezzo.
Jeremy Jones.
Stephen Wood, current race leader, Stephen Woody Rose Jr.
And Kenneth Goodall. And those are all racers that have completed the Joker line. You have to run that one time per race and only once in this hour and a half plus 1 lap. So if you're just tuning in, we thoroughly appreciate each and every one of you. This is the 2022 Method Race Wheels Legends of the Fall. I am Miles Hasselquist with Jim Marsden. And Jim, where are you from, buddy?
Good old UK, my friend. Right, we've now got 5 cars that are starting their 4th lap. So in 5th position is Eric Weichel. In 4th, it's Tony Howard. In 3rd, it's Brent Harrell. In 2nd position is Jeremy Jones. But still, our current race leader is Stephen Woody Rose Jr.
And he's had a splendid day so far. We have seen him have some tire issues, so I don't think there's a single car out there that hasn't had a flat yet. This course is super tough. Ooh, look at Diesel Krintz still pushing strong through the Bronco boulders with that 392 under the hood. He's part of the Rock Crawler suspension team.
And trying to keep it smooth there as he makes his way through. And there's Tony Howard making his way up the waterfall. There's the 347. Great shot there on the hot pits. Literally just come through the start line. There is the hot pits. You can peel in, change your tyres. That looks like this. Is that Jeremy Jones in there?
Yes, Jeremy Jones is in the AMSOIL hot pits.
Now that's interesting because he can't have moved since he actually crossed the line in that case.
So he's been there for quite a little while.
He has, yes.
He was in that 2nd position for a bit. So,
but here is our current race leader. He is on screen at the moment, working his way around through the Bronco rocks.
So he's less than 5 minutes from coming back through, and Jeremy Jones is still in the AMSOIL hot pit. So Woody Rose is probably got up to an 8 to 10 minute lead right now. We'll see how long Jeremy Jones stays in the hot pits, but you know he's in there just struggling. That is a tough break for Jeremy Jones.
And look at this fantastic drone shots here. Brent Harrell in that amazing Paul Herschel car. As we switch across to Rick Levezzo, who's trying very hard not to have a bath by the looks of it.
Justin Barth pulling in the AMSOIL hot pits.
And that is the 918. Brian Moore. And who would guessed it, but it's another flat tyre. Eric Weichel now coming up behind him. Takes that left-hand line, keeps us a nice flow there. That did look like the rear end wasn't pulling properly then. Oh no, there it goes.
And Brian Moore on the right side has a flat tire and having some issues winching, so we'll see if his day's over or not. There comes Ryan Taylor into the screen.
Yeah, great to see Ryan Taylor up and running again.
I believe that's Tony Howard getting ready to blow by the Joker line. So the Joker line is hard left right now. There it is. That is Andrew Gorman. No, that is
48.10.
That is Garrett Humston.
Yeah, Garrett Humston. We've just seen him come up the waterfall. And look how undercut that is now.
Yeah, that's a great shot for sure.
Yeah, very difficult. Now there's been lots of water pulled onto that line as well.
Oh, and there's Brian Moore backing out of the way. There's Sean Reisky, Matthew Weiss. He's already been called out of the race. So this course is being extremely tough on all these guys and gals.
Yeah, I don't think there's any chance of him driving that with a flat tire, but he's got to give it a go.
And try the left side this time. Actually, it's kind of right up the middle. So maybe he's getting ready to winch, I'll bet.
It looks like they're having that conversation inside the car. Yep, and out goes the co-driver.
There's Brian Trimp. And remember, we heard him come through here, had some issue. His engine was missing a little bit, but he's still pushing through. There's a great shot of the Little Blue State Park.
What we have to remember here, yep, there we go, Shelby Sinclair, looks like he's retired. That's very sad to see. We've got to remember there's a good chance there's going to be a more than 50% attrition rate here today.
Oh, it's looking that way for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So play smart.
Yeah, play smart, get to the finish.
Yeah, I was talking to a lot of racers the last few days, and they're like, so what do you think of the course? And we're talking back and forth, and they love it, we love it. And I just keep saying, I drive 70% all day long. If you drive harder than that, you're probably going to break. But there's going to be the one person, like Woody Rose, he's pushing hard and having some good luck. The kid can drive.
Yeah,
but, man, it's anybody's race to lose.
To be fair, watching him driving at the moment, I'd say he's driving a very smart race. I don't think he's pushing. You're watching him go through those Bronco rocks, he's just picking his lines, taking it nice and simple. And when you see him come up to the waterfall that we've seen Sean Rance on there at the moment, he's not pushing too hard either. So,
but to finish first you must finish.
Absolutely, my friend.
So Ned Lamming and Garrett Humston have cleared the Joker line.
And there is Kenneth Goodall, currently in second place in the 4500 modified class. Sean Rand still trying to find a line up the waterfall. And next to him is the 918 of Brian Moore, reaching for the winch rope.
John Rand Sr. with a Ford Performance horsepower under that Ford Bronco. Absolutely beautiful built car. And speaking about beautifully built car, that's the Paul Horschel of Brent Harrell.
Yeah, these cars are so amazing. Paul Herschel started putting really good cars together in the last few years. Always used to build cars for himself, but now he's building cars for customers as well. And we're going to see Lauren Healy in a Paul Herschel car, and of course Paul Herschel himself in his own car later today. And Brent's father, Brett Harrell, is also racing an IFS Horschel car.
Yeah, so they'll have 3 cars out on the next race.
It looks like Brian Moore's making his way down, and there we go. Sean Rance makes his way to the top of the waterfall.
And don't forget to tune in at 1 p.m. We'll kick off the 4400 Unlimited class for the Nitto National Championship. And at 4 p.m. we'll do the NRRA at Nasty Girl right behind us. And then at 4:30 p.m. we'll have the Ultra 4 award ceremony. And then tonight at 7 p.m. the NRRA awards. But don't forget, we're racing over at Mid-America Outdoors as well for the championship series there. So go to the MAO app, download it on Google or Apple, and you can kind of flip back and forth off and on all day when we have a break for lunch. Hopefully they'll be racing. It's going to be action all day long.
Yeah, that was Sean Ransky there. He's obviously repaired his winch rope. Going to have another attempt at winching up the waterfall. Let's not forget he's got no drive on that front left-hand side. And just look at the beautiful colours here. There's greens, there's golds, there's reds, there's oranges. What an amazing place to race. So honoured to be here at Legends of the Fall in Disney, Oklahoma.
It's absolutely beautiful here, isn't it?
It's amazing.
The South Grand Lake recreational area has so much to offer. And don't forget to come here during the summer. You can go wheeling in the morning and go boating in the afternoon, go fishing. It's absolutely amazing.
And I've got news, Miles. I've got news. Our current race leader, who is Stephen Woodin Rose Jr., he has just made his way across the line to start his 5th lap. He's gone into the pits, come out of the pits, and he's back on the racetrack. So now we're going to be looking to see where the next place car is. We did see Jeremy Jones in the pits for a very long time.
He took off, so he's still on that lead lap, I believe. So Woody Rose is out on his 5th lap. We're 1 hour into this racing, so in about a half hour or so, we'll see that white flag, and that'll be the final lap.
It will. It's Rick Lavezzo who's closest to it here. He's trying to make his way up that waterfall. And that waterfall is proving very tricky indeed.
So getting some information, Shelby St. Clair, his winch was overheating, so that's what was going on with that. So tough break there. Oh, sorry, his car is overheating.
The irony being there's so much water on course, if he could have got out the waterfall, he'd probably been okay.
There's Brian Trimp trying to chase down Tony Howard, both in the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class.
Yeah, both picking their way through those Bronco rocks over the far side of the track. And this is Rick Lavezzo. He's changed line. He did try out the left-hand side. He's now trying out the right-hand side, out the crack line.
What'd you think about that announcement last night, Jim, with Travis Pastrana bringing everything to Mid-America Outdoors? Absolutely amazing, isn't it? So if you haven't seen that release, go check out our social media. And there's an amazing video that SpeedSport helped us put out last night. Go check it out. It is absolutely amazing what Mid-America Outdoors is teaming up and making happen for next year.
Yeah, it is. Mid-America Outdoors at the moment, they are leading the way in outdoor events and in outdoor activities. And what the rubber nets are giving us is absolutely fantastic. Just got to say a massive, massive thank you.
Yeah, let's give a huge shout out to Jason and Gayla Robinette, all of our volunteers, the Ultra 4 staff, the Mid-America Outdoors crew, the media, safety, USAC racers, fans, and all of our marketing partners.
Dean in the background there, we can see Eric Wickel, or Weichel, sorry.
There's Dwayne Garrison coming through he'll be coming through the start-finish line here very soon.
Clearly doesn't fancy a wash.
It's a little chilly out there.
There's not many race courses that you race in the world where you actually finish with a car that's cleaner than when you start.
I mean, look at Brian Tripp. There we go. That's what I like to see.
Yeah, that's the best way.
There's our race leader, Woody Rose, coming to a stop.
Now, no, I think he's approaching the waterfall.
Oh, so he probably put it in low side.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, I thought he'd be in low box all the way around this course, so that's interesting. Takes that left-hand side. Nice flow. Here comes the kick.
So let's talk about that a little bit. How fast does your Miller car go in low side?
We're capable of about 85 mile an hour.
Okay, and I'll be honest, that's probably about as fast as you need to go here. So
it is.
If it was you, you'd stay in low side, huh?
Oh, absolutely, stay in low box the whole way for this course. You're only going to be touching on top end of that very, very rarely. But you also have to remember that particularly when we get out to the 4400 class cars, you're going to see a lot of vehicles there that are going to be running single-speed transfer cases. Most of these cars that we're using today, most of these cars you see now are running a 2-speed transfer case, so that are low box and a high box. Come on, Woody, get it up there. Oh, so tantalizingly
all the way
close.
at the top. Struggling just a little bit.
Yeah, he's just got to take his time now, not do anything dumb. That's it. And punch. So what he's doing now is he's left foot braking, right foot accelerating.
And doing a little power brake right on up and out.
Yeah, just roll that axle casing over the top of the rock. So our leader has now cleared the waterfall for the 5th time.
Justin Barth has just cleared the Joker line.
And I can tell you now that Brent Harrell is the 2nd car to be on his 5th lap. So great stuff there from both young men. But going back to transfer cases, so a lot of these guys will be running a 2-speed transfer case. So they have a low ratio and they have a high ratio. And depending on their gear ratios and what they have in their final drives, etc., as to what they're capable of doing and what speeds they're capable of. But we're going to be seeing in the 4400 class later, a lot of those guys are going to be running what are called SCS cases, which are single speed, and most of those are going to be geared for around about 90 to 100 mile an hour.
And Dwayne Garrison comes through
and heads straight on into the pits.
And just got confirmation that Sean Reisky is out of the race. We saw him earlier with some front axle issues, so tough break for him, but he is out of the race.
Nobody likes to see that, that's for sure. So our current race leader is Stephen Woody Rose Jr. We've already seen him clear the waterfall, and here is Brent Howell. So Brent Howell's around about 2 minutes behind at the moment.
So coming through the start-finish, it was a 3-minute, 47-second lead. But I think he's starting to reel him in just a little bit.
Yeah, it did look like it, but he needs to be clean here. Got to get it right. There he does. Nicely done indeed by Brent Harrell. Both these young men incredibly talented and making it look so easy at the moment. And there is Jeremy Jones. He was in second place earlier on. He had a problem. He was in the pits for quite a long time.
And there's that little wall section. I suspect to see some speed later on this afternoon. This is an amazing race we have going on. Don't get me wrong, but today at 1 p.m., the 4400 Unlimited class, the biggest names in our sport, unlimited suspension, unlimited horsepower. It is going to be absolutely insane, so make sure you stay tuned in all day long.
Indeed, and our top four has changed. In fourth position it is Tony Howard. In third is Eric Weichel. In second is Brent Harrell, but still the man out front is Stephen Woody Rose Jr. As we still watch now, it's Jeremy Jones picking his way through the Bronco Rocks.
So officially out of the race, we have Matthew Weiss, Sean Reisky, and Cody St. Clair. But I think there's still a few more cars that are parked that just haven't quite called the race yet.
Yeah, absolutely. The attrition rate is going to be incredibly high. Around 25% of the UTV class completed course yesterday.
There's Kenneth and Logan Goodall in the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle modified class. Still don't have a spare tire on the back. I'm kind of surprised by that. If it was me, I'd probably pull in the AMSOIL hot pits and put one on.
Depends on the race strategy. This is certainly one of those races where I would want at least one spare tire. Nicely done there by Kenneth Goodall. Just picks his way up that left-hand line. This is Sean Rance. That OG Bronco going to work in the Bronco Rocks.
He's been racing with Ultra 4 for such a long time. Great to see him still out here racing with us. He took a huge tumble in Sturgis this year, had to completely rebuild the car. They did so much fun stuff on the chassis. They had to redo some of the skins and get it all fixed up, and that Bronco is still looking good as Brian Trent makes it up the waterfall.
Yeah, Brian Trent there making it look so easy. When it goes right, it really does go right for you. And yet we saw him earlier on struggling with that. So still only 4 cars that are actually on their 5th lap at the moment. And there's approximately 30 minutes left in this race. So it's an hour and a half plus 1 lap. And the fastest lap of the race so far is still with Stephen Woody Rose Jr. with a 12:15.
Tony Howard just clearing waterfall. Right behind him is Dwayne Garrettson, the Ricky Bobby. And Eric Weichel right behind him. I love the smiley face on the top of that car. So we have 2 cars battling up the waterfall. Got a couple of my good buddies, Luke DeGrand and Ben Minden out there, right there, basically right where the camera's out there watching. Had fun with them at the Casey Donahue concert last night. Glad to see them out here enjoying some Ultra 4 racing.
And that's what we've got to say. This isn't just about the racing. This is an
event.
off-road event. It's an off-road festival. Last night was absolutely fantastic. Live music, driver's appreciation dinner. Then we had, of course, we had the treat and trunk. How many pounds of candy did we give away?
1,500 pounds of candy the Robinettes donated, and the racers got to hand out to all the kids here at the South Grand Lake area. Absolutely
there must be kids
awesome.
that can't walk this morning. That was amazing. And that's car number 73. There is Greg Neef. Car still looking nice and fresh.
And we need to give a huge shout out to Factor 55. They've been helping everything up there at the Joker line. So that's the Factor 55 Joker line. Shelby St. Clair is officially calling his race, so tough break. We saw him have some overheating issues on his engine and having some winch problems, so tough break for Shelby St. Clair in his debut Ultra 4 race.
Yeah, and Greg Neef there just makes his way out the waterfall. Beautifully done. Picks his line and off he goes. Still only 4 cars on their 5th lap at the moment. In 4th it's Tony Howard. In 3rd is Eric Weichel. In 2nd is Brent Harrell. And in 1st position it still is Stephen Woody Rose Jr.
Garrett Humpston just came through the line as you were chatting. There's Brian Moore still trying to get up the waterfall section.
Yeah, the interesting thing is, he hasn't got a spare tyre, has he? But that's the man himself. That is Mr. Nexon Tyre. That is Stephen Woody Rose Jr. picking his way through those Bronco rocks.
A little little splash pass on the far side as we're going to fly through the Bronco boulders.
And there's Brian Moore. Now let's see if he can winch up this. Now when we're winching at home, we have little protectors that we put down on the rocks to stop you breaking cables.
Yeah, because that rock is so sharp. I mean,
so
it could cut a.
And these winches are mostly using synthetic cables these days. I mean, 30 years ago we used to use steel. Now we're using synthetics. The reason we use synthetics, they're lighter, they're stronger, they're easier
And they're
to
safer,
handle.
too.
They're safer as well. We don't get that kinetic whip that we get with steel.
And those steel cables can get a splinter in and really poke you.
Oh, yeah.
I've had a few of those in there.
I was going to say, been there.
There's Ryan Taylor, part of Team Indiana, that Trip Fab car, with Corey Day riding shotgun.
I've got to say, I think I got one of the photos of the event the other day.
Yes, talk about $1 million view.
It was indeed. Ryan Taylor's car literally parked on the grass, top of a grass slope with the dam in the background. It was absolutely fantastic. If you want to check it out on my Instagram. Come on, Brian, you can do this. Love this Trent Fab car. There she blows. Nicely done. And every time you're working your way up these waterfalls, you're trying really hard not to put as little wear on the car as possible.
Yeah, because right after this, you go up the half pipe and then down Viagra.
Yep. And that's Ned Laming there. And we spoke about this car earlier. This is one of the oldest cars on the course this weekend. Being very sensible there. Changing his line entirely. Hewitt got it wrong, so he comes back off it, resights himself. Oh, I like this. Oh, what a shame. He really did everything right there. That's unfortunate. And there is Brent Harrell, our current second place car on course. If you get a chance to look at this vehicle, do so.
It is an absolutely work of art. Paul Harshall's a magician behind the CAD machine. And they'll do so much little things to change it up to make it just a little bit faster.
Yep, he's always looking for that 9th, 10th. He really is. There's Jeremy Jones at the waterfall.
He's physically, or on adjusted time, he's in 5th position as we speak.
It's still all to play for, Miles. There's so much still going on in this race.
And there's Ned Laming on the top left.
Yeah, Ned Laming's got up there.
Oh, and look, Brian Moore did make it up.
Yes, he did. He winched up there, but he has got severe problems now. He's torn the tyre from the wheel. And he's got to make it. Just see it there in that top corner. So the tyre is completely off the wheel now. And the problem when that happens is if you continue to try and drive, you can actually tear the shock absorbers off the car. Or worse, you can flatten the wheel rim and that can take the caliper off. So he's got to make some big decisions.
So Tony Howard has made it up the Factor 55 Joker line.
Okay, I can tell you now that Woody Rose Jr., he's going to be coming round to complete his 5th lap, and he has completed his 5th lap. And he powers across the line, doesn't go into the pits, and heads out on lap number 6.
So I believe he'll get at least one more lap. I bet you he'll get 2 more laps before the white flag comes through.
He's got to be careful. He's got to be really clever here. If I was his pit crew,
you know what? I'd have him slow down a little bit.
Yeah, I would as well, because it's going to be 1+ on top of that.
Yep.
There's no point. It's interesting to see where Brent is. I think Brent's about 5 minutes behind him. He can bleed some time, even if it means sitting on the start line and not crossing the start line.
We just sit there and wait on the white flag.
Just sit there and wait for the white flag. Got to be sensible here. It really is about playing
that's
that
a happy medium. I don't know how that's going to work, because then all of a sudden you could have Brent on your tail. I don't know. Just for an extra lap.
This is where you need your pit crew.
Yeah.
This is where you need your pit crew. Trying to
look at the line of the Bronco boulders. It's really burning in nice out here.
It's my race manager. Unfortunately, she doesn't work with me anymore, but she was there. Stacy, she was awesome at that. She would actually sit down. She'd be working at everybody's times, everywhere everybody is on the track. And she'd be calling it to me, telling me what I need to do, whether I need to speed up, slow down. So much tactical stuff going on.
That was Diesel Prince coming through the Method Race Wheel start finish. If you are just tuning in, we thoroughly appreciate each and every one of you. This is the 2022 Method Race Wheels Legends of the Fall. This is the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class and the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class. So there are 2 races going on at the exact same time. Both are scored separately, and then we'll be giving away some of those amazing laser nut trophies here in just a little bit.
And this is Sean Rance here, trying to pick his way up through. Oh, look at that. Beautifully done there by Sean.
And I'm going to give Laser Nut a really good pimp right now because they've been doing such a great job all year long. So Laser Nut was founded in 1984 by Cody Wagner's dad, Jim. Originally building powder coating equipment, they purchased their first used CO2 laser machine in 06, eventually getting 5 CO2 lasers. Now they have a 42,000 square foot warehouse. They've recently upgraded to 2 10K fiber lasers and 11 press brakes. They do laser cutting, laser etching, bending, robotic welding, taping, countersinking, and finish sanding. Over 80 employees working around the clock, over 400 customers, mainly in the off-road market, private labeling. They make the trophies they've made for us for over the years are absolutely top-notch, so thank you again to Laser Nut. You can also buy a Laser Nut replica trophy for $250, have it shipped to your sponsor, your co-driver, crew chief, or whoever you want. And they also, don't forget, they have those awesome cactuses for sale too.
Yeah, Brannick Motorsports, let's talk about this. Brannick, of course, stand
4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class.
Indeed. They've been out working with us for so long. Founded in 2003 by father and son, Stan and Brandon Haynes, and started with 1 CNC mill and a couple of manual pieces, originally serving the aluminium foundry industry, putting permanent molds from new and raw billet steel, and also repairing molds and other foundry tooling components. They've always been into off-road and building their own parts in-house, and then started making race parts for more and more people and realized that there was a market for it. Now 95% of their business is off-road related, with a complete line of axles, driveline components, and a long list of other hardcore parts, including sway bars, sway bar arms, and center prop shaft bearings. They also private label a lot of parts for other big companies in the industry. They now have a 10,000 square foot warehouse with 3 3-axis mills, many rotaries, 3-axis and 4 CNC lathes, 1 twin spindle, and various manual machines, welders, saws, and other fab equipment.
So again, just a huge shout out to all of those marketing partners that help us out. That just kind of give you a little behind the scenes shot on a couple of them that really help us out.
Indeed. Right now, Brent Harrell, who's crossed the line, and there is a gap of 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
So he's really starting to reel him in a little bit. So Woody Rose, like you're saying, you have to play that happy medium. But to finish first you must finish. It's going to be a race to the finish for sure.
Absolutely. Now I've been very impressed with Woody Rose so far, but I think we've seen him with 1 flat tire so far. I think we've seen Brent with 2.
So they're going to have to play that long game and see how it shakes out. It's going to be an awesome finish. I can't wait to see how it comes together. And in the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class, it's Rick Levezzo in 1, Troy Bigby in 2nd, and then Ken Goodall in 3rd. Eric Weichel sitting in 3rd in the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class. Then Tony Howard, Jeremy Jones, Brian Trimp.
Diesel Drentz here trying to get his car up over this waterfall for them. Not easy in a big full-body vehicle like that.
Ken Goodall head through the Method Race Wheel Start Finish. Oh, here's a 2nd place, Brent Harrell. Good thing that left line was open, so he's got an option. Ooh, starting to struggle a little bit. Remember that waterfall section right there is wet, so it's a pretty tricky little climb. And he's almost all the way out the top, but there's a 2nd ledge you have to little bump up it.
Yeah, this is exactly what we saw happen to Woody Rose earlier.
But making it right up and out.
Exactly.
And then they go up this little half-pipe section through the woods and then down Viagra.
I am so impressed with Brent Harrell and with Woody Rose. But neither of them are getting really heavy on the throttle. They're just picking their lines, taking their time, and making those cars work.
And they're both fairly young. It's great to see them. I mean,
the future is great.
Yeah, we got a great future here at Ultra 4 USA.
You can guarantee that these guys in the next few years will be stepping up into 4400.
And they grew up in this industry. So Woody Rose's dad is Derek Trimp, part of Trimp Fabrication, and then Brett Harrell's sons. They've been wheeling. They got brought up in motorsports. It's great to see.
Absolutely. There's Ryan Taylor there in another Trent Fab car. They just look so right, don't they?
Corey Day, his co-driver, rode with Adam Kennett yesterday, so he knows this course like the back of his hand. So Team Indiana really pushing strong out there.
Yeah, it makes a big difference as well. So we've now got 3 cars on the 6th lap. Eric Weichel has just started his 6th lap. In second place was Brent Harrell, we just saw going up the waterfall. But in first place, and he's been in first place right from the start, it's Woody Rose Jr. So watch Diesel Drent still trying to make his way up the waterfall. That's it, up she goes.
Keep the momentum going, and he's up and out. Here comes Troy Digby and Kyle.
Now we saw Troy Digby give us a masterclass on this earlier. Can he do it again? No, is the answer. It's so frustrating when you come to an obstacle like this. You arrive at it one time and you just one-shot it. The next time you take exactly the same line in your own mind and you can't get anywhere near it.
Or you come up and there is lap traffic in one section at certain spots.
Yeah, exactly. Frustration level 10 for a race car driver. And up he goes. Very nicely done from Troy.
Up and out. Troy Digby through it. Here comes Brian Trimp. He's sitting in.
Oh, I really like that from Brian Trimp. That was a fantastic piece of driving there. Just perfect flow from start to finish.
There's Tony Howard. But Brian Trimp's in that 8th position, and Tony Howard is all the way up in 4th position on adjusted time. So Tony Howard's really having a great race here for the 2022 Method Race Wheels Legends of the Fall.
Still only 3 cars have started their 6th lap. And our current race leader, he must be around about over halfway right now, but that is Kenneth Goodall, who is potentially our race leader in the 4500 class.
The attrition is really starting to show, so I know the 4400 drivers are watching this race, seeing how tough this course is. But let's talk about it again. These are all 37-inch DOT tires. Later on, they'll have their race sticky tires, so they'll have some better tires on. But the attrition's definitely stout. Was our race leader Woody Rose in the Bronco Boulders.
Yeah, now Woody Rose, he started on the 2nd row of the grid this morning. By the end of lap 1, he had clear air in front of him. Bit of very mature drive from this young man. Just putting that car to work through the Bronco rocks. And he's around about 5 minutes away from coming back round and starting his 7th lap. Now, will he be shown the white flag? We're going to be around about 1 hour, 25 minutes when he crosses the line.
I don't know, because it's supposed to be from the last person taken off, so I think they'll have to do 2 more laps.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Eric Weichel up and over the waterfall section, heading up to the half pipe.
But we were chatting to our race director, JT Taylor, and he said if they're coming in around about 125, 126, he will make a decision on whether to throw the flag or not. So we're going to have to watch this.
You possibly sit on this side, or you kind of record what's going on?
Ryan and Taylor through, heading out for another lap.
Yeah, go ahead.
Diesel Drents now making his way round the back here. This is Little Blue. Now, there are multiple lines here that you can pick up time. Diesel's not worried about time. He's worried about finishing. So he's going across the crack here.
And head down the rigid Little Blue section.
We call this the safe line. It's not safe in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I'm not driving down.
Yeah, look
That's
at that.
Troy
That's
Digby.
Troy Digby taking the far line. That's the quick line. Saves around about 30 to 40 seconds.
They're both very steep, but the left side is a little safer, like you said, Jim.
It is indeed. You don't hug your seat quite so much.
You're good. I'm keeping it tight most of the time anyway.
And there's another car coming down through the central line there.
That's Brian Trimp.
The 896 of Brian Trimp.
There's Dwayne Garrettson.
Punch you, Dwayne. Left it a moment too late. Okay, Jeremy Jones has now crossed the line, and so has Tony Howard. Both of them are now also on their 6th lap.
So let's go through the adjusted race order. Sitting in 5th position is Tony Howard.
In 4th is Jeremy Jones.
In 3rd position, Eric Weichel.
In 2nd, it's Brent Harrell.
And out front all day long is Woody Rose.
Yeah, now Woody Rose is not going to be far off coming round to start his 7th lap. It could potentially be his last lap. So we're going to be watching out to see if that's going to happen.
I do see JT Taylor at the start-finish line. We'll see what flag he grabs.
It is a white flag I see being unfurled. So it does look like Woody Rose is going to be showing the white flag and will be starting his final lap.
Got one of my buddies back home, Jake Minden, tuned in, having some fun. Thanks for checking us out, buddy. What a great race we have. This is absolutely amazing out here.
Oh, look at that. Oh, we had great race action there. We just saw Brent Harrell closing up on Rick Levezzo. Here's Greg Neef.
Struggling just a little bit, that racer coffee machine. Wonder if he's going to break out that Warren winch. So JT Taylor with the flag at the start-finish line. Where is Woody Rose?
I can tell you now that Woody Rose is going to be coming across the line any minute now. Now, what kind of shape is he going to be in? Is he going to need to come into the hot pit? Is he going to be able to blow through?
The white flag is out and getting waved for Woody Rose. We're about 12 to 15 minutes away from this race to finish. He blows by the AMSOIL hot pits, and Woody Rose, it is his race to lose. We'll see if he can keep it together, play it smart, play it safe. And I know he's in the pits with those PCI race radios, keeping in communication and seeing how far back Brent Harrell is.
Jesse Oliver here trying to go out the Joker line. This is the line they call nosebleed. There are multiple winch points at the top there, so he's got to make some decisions quickly, as we watch Sean Rance. But it's at the moment, it's all about Woody Rose Jr. He's on his 7th and final lap here.
And the fastest lap of the day was set earlier by Woody Rose with a 12:15. So what's your guess on the 4400s? Do you think they're going to be in that 10-minute mark? It's going to be tough to break, but I think that 10-minute mark is possible.
We have so many talented drivers, so many amazing cars in 4400. I think we're going to be seeing around about 10.5 minutes.
I was talking with the Gomez brothers last night, and we were just having some fun, talking strategy and whatnot, and I was like, I can't think of too many people that we are actually missing. It's a completely stacked field. The only person I could really come up with was Eric Miller. We talked about Randy Slauson, but he mainly only races King of the Hammers. So it's Jason Shearer, but he races mainly just King of the Hammers as well. So it's almost a completely stacked field. It is absolutely amazing.
Take it live.
Yeah, some massively high horsepower, some incredible machines, and we'll be seeing them at 1 p.m. today. But right now, it's all about this race. There's Diesel Drentz up on the high side.
Oh, and this is going to be a drag race into the Bronco Boulders. Can't quite tell who that is on the outside. Is that Brian Tripp, possibly?
It could well be, could well be. But now we're waiting for Brent Harrell.
Yes, that is Brian Tripp. Oh, and look at Troy Digby's trying to get in the action, too, right at the Bronco Boulders. And there's multiple lanes through here. I drove my Jeep through this section earlier, or well, a couple weeks ago, whenever that was, and it was absolutely gnarly. And I only have the 35-inch Nittos on it, but they've got 37s on this, and making it look a lot easier than I did, I'll promise you that. But I had to tell myself, you got to drive this home, dummy.
Well, that's the one thing these guys don't have to do, thankfully. And that's why they're putting on such a wonderful display of racing for us here today.
But talking about that, Diesel Chris right in the middle of your screen right there, that is a tagged vehicle. He can drive that to the Walmart.
And this is Jeremy Jones. Jeremy Jones currently is lying in 4th position, making his way out the waterfall. But let's not forget, he is almost going to be lapped by our current race leader, who is Woody Rose Jr.
Look at this picture-in-picture with the rocks in the background. Absolutely amazing. And
a massive shout-out to our production crew.
Yeah, Take It Live has done an amazing job bouncing back and forth.
There is our race leader right behind Jeremy Jones. This is Woody Rose.
And he makes it right up and through the waterfall section, and just got confirmation that Jesse Oliver made it up through the Factor 55 Joker line. And there's Brian Moore with a broken right front axle right at the start of the Bronco Boulders. So he's had a rough day, tough break for him.
Yeah, he's had no luck at all, unfortunately. But Woody Rose Jr., the big news, he is now clear of the waterfall. He'll be making his way towards Little Blue. He's already done the Joker line, so he doesn't have to do that. Once he's past Little Blue, he comes around the back. He'll be making his way through the Bronco Rocks. Then he'll be up the Yukon Launch, down through the Recaro Rocks, and heading for the finish line.
This is a 5-mile lap. We've been racing for basically right at an hour and a half right now, and they're on their 7th and final lap.
Absolutely. We said at the start of this race we could see somebody different on the finish line. We could see somebody we've never seen before win this race, and it does look like that is going to happen today.
Woody Rose has had some success in the past, and keeping that momentum going. Woody Rose is doing an amazing job. So who else is out there? It's just Brent Harrell and Woody Rose out on their 7th lap.
It is at the moment.
So the white flag is flying for the rest of the field.
Does look like Jeremy Jones will probably get passed by Woody Rose.
We'll be giving away some of those laser nut trophies here in just a little bit. We'll have our cohort Pam Hall down there. She's been running all over the place. There's so much going on behind the scenes that we just need to give a huge shout out to absolutely everybody.
And Ned Laming makes his way up, and there is
Eric Weichel.
Weichel, he's possibly our 3rd place vehicle on course at the moment.
So thank you to Jason and Gayla Robinette, all of our volunteers, the Mid-America Outdoor Crew, the Ultra 4 staff, media, safety, USAC racers, fans, and all of our marketing partners.
Oh, now look at this. That's Brent Harrell. Oh, how did he do that, Miles? He's just managed to pick his way out the waterfall with a flat rear tyre.
So flat tire on the last lap. Woody Rose, if he's got his pit crews watching the screen, they're telling him, hey, Brent's got a flat, keep pushing, but play it smart.
Absolutely.
How cool is that? That we're actually helping them communicate to their drivers, because you know they're tuned in and watching in the hot pits.
Well, this is something I never understand, is when the race car drivers don't tune into the live show, because the live show is actually a real massive help for little things like that. And that's something we do in our own race program. We make sure that we follow the live feeds, we make sure that we follow the live scoring, so that we can see what's going on, so we can box smart.
Where do you race at, Jim?
Pretty much all over the world, but mostly Europe.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see you over there being so successful, and then come over here and hang out with us. I really appreciate it.
Oh, we love it, mate.
There's Dwayne Garrettson making his way towards the Bronco Boulders, just bypassing the nasty girl to be racing tonight for the NRRA Rock Bouncing.
Yeah, I would put a big shout out actually to all the boys and girls in Ultra 4 Europe who are racing at Battle of Bovington this weekend.
Oh, so you actually skipped a race to come here,
Yeah,
huh?
I skipped a race to be here this weekend, so good luck to everyone who's racing over there. Hope they're having a great time.
There's Jesse Oliver. Brian Trimp pulling into the Amsoil hot pits. There's Rick Lavezzo at the waterfall. Almost had it up there. Just not quite enough momentum. Him and James Mahoney been running strong. Brian Trimp has some engine issues, but it looks like they're going to just change a tire. We'll see if they pull the bonnet off, right? Is that what you call it?
Absolutely.
I don't see him checking out the hood, so they're just going to be pushing right through. And there comes Ryan Taylor.
Background, that's a great shot there.
So that's so cool for the pit guys. They get to watch the start finish. They can turn around and watch their cars going around them. There's action everywhere.
Let's be honest, it's a thankless task being stood in most pits. You get to see no action and you have to stand there all day, so it's awesome that they can see the action around them going on. But it's not going to be long now until we see our race leader picking his way round through the Bronco Rocks.
There's Tony Howard.
Tony Howard is provisionally lying in 5th place at the moment.
Where is Woody Rose? I can't wait to see him. He should be coming around here any moment. We could be able to get a visual on.
That is Brent Harrell, who's just made his way down Little Blue, but he does have a flat rear tyre at the moment. He's got to be smart. Just keep that tyre together.
So we should see Woody Rose on the other side of the Amsoil hot pits here very, very soon.
It's the 48.10.
Ryan Webb heading out for his final lap. His buddy and teammate for Kryptonite Customs, Christopher Brenton, is starting on the pole later on this afternoon for a 4,400 main event.
And that is Garrett Hunston picking his way up onto the waterfall. And we still only have 2 cars that have started their 7th lap.
Hey, Jim, I have a visual on Woody Rose. He's on the backside of the Amsoil hot pits. We are less than 5 minutes away from the checkered flag
and
flying.
It looks like he's lapping Jeremy Jones. Yeah, it looks like he's lapped Jeremy Jones. That's incredible.
That is absolutely insane. 2 very similar cars, and Woody Rose just laps a class veteran of Jeremy Jones. Woody Rose is having such an incredible race.
We're just looking there. That is Ryan Taylor in another Trent Fab car. There is our race leader. That is Woody Rose.
He'll be heading into the Bronco Boulders any moment as we see Dwayne Garrettson heading up the Yukon launch.
And coming across the line now, it looks like he's going to be Eric Weichel. He's also got a flat tyre. We really should have set up a book on how many flat tires there were going to be at this race.
There is a Ned Lamming. Oh, Eric Weichel heading in the hot pits. He's having an amazing race. He's physically in 3rd position. We'll see if he can hold that on adjusted time. Hopefully his pit crew can change that left front flat and get Eric out there. Eric and Nancy Weichel having a great race.
But look at this. This is our current race leader. This is Woody Rose Jr. picking his way through those Bronco rocks. And in the main screen now
is Diesel Krentz.
That's a great looking rig, isn't it?
Oh, I love it, yeah. It's just, I mean, it looks like a Jeep.
It does indeed.
It's got a 392 under the hood, those Nitto tires, rock crawler suspension.
But let's just talk about this young man down in the bottom corner here. That was, of course, Woody Rose Jr. Now, that's a Trem Fab machine, so he's going to be running 14-inch travel suspension. He's going to also be using a 37 DOT tyre. I think we've only seen him actually stop for 1 tyre today, which is absolutely remarkable.
Yeah, Woody Rose out of Sparks, Nevada with Trent Fabrication. He's got a Trent Fab top shelf chassis, LSX 454, Turbo 400, Atlas, Yukon, Brannick, Proper Tuning, Laser Nut, Rugged, Warn, Fox, Nexon, Raceline, and Meekum alternators, and FK rods.
So we've now got 3 vehicles that are currently on their 7th lap. We've got Eric Weichel, who's still currently in the pit, Brent Harrell, who's got a flat on course, and of course our race leader, Woody Rose Jr., who is making his way around the back now. He'll be soon, very soon, coming up to the Yukon launch, and then across the Recaro rocks for the final time.
Thank you again to each and every one of you for tuning in. We're about to wrap up the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class and the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class. The checkered flag will be coming out very, very soon. We have Tracy Snell tuning in. Thanks for checking us out, and this is an amazing race.
It is indeed, as we still see action coming from the waterfall. In the bottom right of our screen right now is that young man, Brent Harrell. He's been trying so hard to put time on Woody Rose. Flat tyre's been plaguing him all weekend, but this is a fantastic drive.
And you can hear the siren there at the Little Blue. What an amazing race it has been for the 2022 Method Race Wheels Legends of the Fall. We should see Woody Rose here in about a minute to go.
That's Jeremy Jones crossing the water splash. It looks like you won't believe this, Miles, but he's got a flat front tyre.
Another one. So, hey, next race you are doing a check mark. Every time you say flat tire, hit.
I'm not being funny, mate. I had so many flat tyres in Portugal a few weeks ago. I think I went through 10 tyres, which is very unlike me, but there we are.
Brian Taylor
Goodall there.
Brian Taylor heading out for his final lap with another flat tire, so he'll be heading into the Amsoil hot pits with Team Indiana.
Yeah, Kenneth Goodall making real quick work there at the waterfall. But now it's all about watching for our race leader.
And I'm getting an update. Woody Rose has a flat left rear tire, but hey, he's close enough to the finish. I think he's going to be okay. But our leader has a flat now as well. But I believe it's only a second flat tire, so he's had an amazing day.
Exactly that. But we're now watching Ryan Taylor in the pits, car 53, another Trent Fab vehicle. Also with a flat tire.
And remember, once the checkered flag comes out, nobody else gets to go out for another lap.
That is our race leader, Miles. Our race leader is almost at the finish, literally 200 meters from the finish line.
So Woody Rose is about to wrap this race up. He's splashing through the water, taking it easy. He's got this in the bag. Remember, this race is on adjusted time, but he has got this thing locked up. So the checkered flag is out, and I got a visual on Woody Rose.
Woody Rose crosses the line, takes the checkered flag, and takes the win here at Legends of the Fall in the 4800 class. Wow, what a race, Miles.
They have put on one heck of a show for everybody here in South Grand Lake recreational area and in Disney. It's absolutely amazing. And Woody Rose with one heck of a race.
Yeah, he's been absolutely astonishing right from the start of this race.
So
he got out in front, started on the second row of the grid, got out in front early, and he's stayed there ever since. He has the fastest lap with the 12 minute 15 seconds and has dominated every single lap.
And I believe he just locked up the Western Series for the Nitto National Championship and may have moved up a couple of positions in the Nationals as well.
And crossing the line there, Miles, in second position, another incredibly talented young man. It was our pole sitter, Brent Harrell, in his Paul Herschel built car.
What a great race by both of those young gentlemen. And Woody Rose 1, Brent Harrell 2, unofficially, but I'm pretty sure it's going to stick. But what a great race they put on for everybody here on site and back at home.
Absolutely. Now we're going to have to just work out what positions everybody's in. One thing's for sure, usually at these races, what we have to do is check for tyre balls. Deflate the tyres. We don't need to do that here.
They're doing it for us.
They're doing it for us. I think every single car's pretty much had 4 tyres on it at some point.
There's Tony Howard in the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class. Remember, we do have 2 races to go. So who's in the lead in the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle
We're
modified
just trying to work
class?
that one out at the moment.
I believe it's Troy Digby, then Rick
was Troy
Levez.
Digby, and we saw Troy Digby doing very well earlier on course. In fact, he should be coming around to complete a lap very soon.
Rick Levezzo and then Ken Goodall. But like we were talking earlier, now that the checkered has flown, they're about to win.
There is Rick Levezzo on start.
He's in the Bronco Boulder, so that where's Troy Digby? Was he in front of him?
We saw Troy Digby ahead of him earlier on.
But
so
is he still ahead of him?
Exactly.
I missed it.
We will have to wait and see, but I think Troy Digby is going to be crossing the line first. But it can be difficult to stay on top of the positions of this. There's so much action out there on course.
What an amazing race it has been. They showed up and are showing out. We see Rick Levezzo. Justin Barth there in the lower right finishes. There's Jesse Oliver. I believe they're both a lap down.
So
there's Ned Lamming on screen.
Their way around.
Oh, Brian Moore's back in action. We saw him with a broken right front axle of some sort.
Yeah, he was winged out by one of our course workers, allowing him to get back on track. It's been a tough day in the office for Brian. And again, the attrition rate of this race has been absolutely brutal. So many flat tyres, so many breakages.
Yeah, you're talking about attrition. The tires are taking a beating. The axles, we were talking to Cody St. Clair earlier, and he's like, yeah, hit it so hard it just ripped it right out of it.
Yeah, you can see all the car parts at the bottom of the waterfall section here.
So, Jim, look at this. I have a physical. I can visually see Troy Digby, so that means Rick Levezzo is ahead of him, got around. So,
yes.
Rick Levezzo is our leader for the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle modified class.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, he shouldn't be very far off the finish. In fact, that is Rick Levezzo. Looks like he's going to be going through the water splash any second now.
And he's backing down. He's in communication. He knows he's got this. Well, he knows he still has to push, but he can slow down a little bit.
So he's got the Yukon launch to go. Then he's got to make his way around Chips Rock. Then once he's done that, he's got to come back through the Recaro rocks, and then it's the last water splash, and he can pick his way back over the finish line and see if he can seal the deal in the 4500 class.
But remember, this race is on adjusted time. Let me do some quick math real quick.
Quick math, real quick. Ryan Taylor there picking his way out the waterfall. Again in a Trem Fab car. And that is Troy Digby.
So on my quick math, unofficially, Rick Levezzo needs to beat Troy Digby by 3.5 minutes. So actually, it's going to be down to timing on this because they took off in 2 at a time at 30-second increments. Rick Levezzo took off in 9th spot. Troy Digby in 24th. So I think it's a 3.5 minute time split. So it'll be down to the wire. It will be an absolute race to the finish. We haven't seen much of Trevor Foltz, and there he is with the hood off.
Yeah,
tough break for him.
Yeah, nobody likes to see that. Now, if you're in the pit crew sitting down in the hot pit and you're Troy, and you're with Troy, you need to be bending into that radio and saying to him, Troy, stand on it.
We took off at 10 a.m., so they've been racing hard for an hour and 42 minutes right now.
So still the race action continues here. And we are looking for, that looks like that might be Brian Moore crossing the water there, and there is Rick Levezzo, our physical first place on course 4500 modified class car.
So Rick Levezzo was about to grab the checkered flag, but remember, it's going to be down to timing for the 4,500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class. This is going to be an amazing finish because Rick Levezzo needs to beat Troy Bigby by, I believe, 3.5 minutes. So the checkered flag is out. Rick Levezzo physically finishing out first, but it's going to be down to timing. How far back is...
So Rick Levezzo is the first of our 4,500 class across the line. He's a full lap behind Woody Rose.
How far back is is Troy Digby behind Rick Levezzo as we're watching Ryan Taylor.
Very close indeed.
Heading to the top of Little Blue. I've got my unofficial stopwatch going. It's going to be really, really close.
Right, let's watch Ryan Taylor here. Now, this is taking the far line. This is the faster line. You're going to see all of the 4,400 class cars taking this line this afternoon. You can almost guarantee it.
Yeah, if they don't take that one, they're not going to be winning.
Now, I love this. This is fantastic drone footage here. There's Ryan Taylor picking his way off. It's a controlled crash landing. He makes it look so simple. Great driving here.
I still hear Dwayne Garrettson, so he's still in the mix for the 4,500 Yukon Gear and Axle Modified class. Where is Ken Goodall?
Well, I can also see Troy Digby on the far side of the course. And he's going to have to really stand on it if he wants to catch Rick Levezzo. He's slowing down for the water. He's probably completely unaware of how close this is.
So Dwayne Garrettson is really close behind Logan and Ken Goodall. But where is Troy Digby?
Troy Digby now is working his way up through towards the Yukon launch.
Brian Trimp coming in
with another flat tire.
So who's it going to be for third place in the Legends class? Eric Weichel, Tony Howard, Jeremy Jones?
Eric Weichel. I've seen Eric Weichel already crossing around the back of the Bronco Rocks. So I think it is potentially, it could be Eric Weichel. But again, there's still so much going on out there.
About a minute and a half left for Troy Bigby to come in, and he might be able to steal the win from Rick Levezzo, unofficially. This race is on adjusted time. Oh, here is Troy Digby right now, so he may have just stolen the win from Rick Levezzo. What's going to be on the timer? I do believe Troy Digby may have just beat out Rick Levezzo by about a minute.
It does look exactly that, yes, you are right, but just over a minute. So Troy Digby is currently unofficially first in the 4,500 modifieds.
What
Rick
a
Levezzo
great race.
is second in 4,500 modifieds. And I think Kenneth Goodall will probably be our third place finisher, but we'll have to keep an eye on that.
So while we wait for a few more competitors to come through this start-finish line, we're going to take a quick break and be right back after this.
Rocks, sand, heat. Life off-road is tough. We wouldn't have it any other way. If AMSOIL products are designed for this kind of punishment, think about what they can do for your daily driver. Upgrade to AMSOIL protection today and get fast free shipping from AMSOIL.com.
And welcome back to Legends of the Fall 2022 and the 4500 and 4800 modified race. And we've got Eric Weichel crossing the line there to close out the top three.
I believe Eric Weichel just grabs that third position. And where does that put Dwayne Garrettson for the 4500 U-Car Gear and Axle modified class? I believe that wraps up the podium for it too. So I think unofficially it's Woody Rose in first.
Woody Rose in first, Brent Harrell in second.
And Eric Weichel in third for the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class. And then for the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle modified class, it's Troy Digby in first.
In second place is Rick Levezzo.
And I believe it's going to be Dwayne Garrettson wrapping up the podium for that race as well. So this is all unofficial. We got to get with our timing, dot our I's, cross our T's. But it looks like we got a full podium for both the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class and the 4500 Yukon Gear and Axle modified class. What an amazing race it has been all day long. Absolutely love it.
Been absolutely fantastic. It's been action-packed from start to finish, Miles. That's why we love Ultra 4 racing. And how good is it to be here in Disney, Oklahoma? How good is it to be on this amazing race course with these amazing people?
Yesterday was so special. We started out with racing, and then we did the show and shine. We did the trunk or treat. We did the amazing launch from SpeedSport with Travis Pastrana and company. Absolutely amazing. And then we finished out the night with some amazing music. And then today, this race has been amazing. It's only gonna get better.
You used almost as many amazings as they've used tires out on course.
It's been a great event out here at South Grand Lake. So much fun, and this race was one to watch. But be sure to come back for at 1 o'clock, the 4400 main event will be absolutely amazing.
Absolutely. Well, while we're waiting for Pam Hall to get all the trophies sorted out and for just to finalize all the results, we're going to cut out to a short commercial break, and we'll be back with more action very soon.
Bronco, an American classic, returns. And it only gets better when it's outfitted with the right gear. From bumpers to winches, rigging accessories, suspensions, body armor, and wheels. You need a full array of gear to outfit your Bronco for adventure. Get them now at warn.com.
Sand. Heat. Life off-road is tough. We wouldn't have it any other way. If AMSOIL products are designed for this kind of punishment, think about what they can do for your daily driver. Upgrade to AMSOIL protection today and get fast free shipping from AMSOIL.com.
of off-road racing dominance. Proprietary patented race technology. Proudly made in the USA. Unparalleled customer service and support. The choice of champions. King Shocks. The leader in off-road shock technology.
The Ford Bronco is back, and 4-Wheel Parts is your Bronco aftermarket headquarters. Whether it's a wheel and tire upgrade you need, or an all-out overlanding build, 4WP's expert staff and lineup of in-stock products are ready to help you do your Bronco right. Build your Bronco at one of our 100 stores nationwide, or shop online at 4WP.com/Bronco HQ.
Welcome back to the 2022 Method Race Wheels Legends of the Fall. This was the start of the race earlier, just kind of a quick little highlight, and we had so much fun. If you can't have fun watching this race, you better tune out, because this was one heck of a race. It was absolutely amazing, wasn't it, Jim?
Oh, it was absolutely incredible. We've seen so much action right from the start to the finish. I mean, let's talk about qualifying yesterday. We saw Brent Harrell throwing down that incredible time to put him on the front end of the grid. But then it was all about Woody Rose. Woody Rose started on the second row today, punched his way up into the front.
And never looked back.
Never looked back. He's looked cool. He's looked comfortable. He's looked awesome all the way out there. I think he's had maybe one or maybe two flat tyres. That is it. And flat tyres have been the story of this race.
But remember, these are 37-inch DOT tires. So the next race we have at 1 p.m. is the 4400 Unlimited race, and that's a sticky tire. It's a race compound. I do think tires are still going to be an issue, don't get me wrong, but I think you're going to see a lot less flat tires. And we have 33 4400 cars racing later on today, so get your plans figured out. Get your lunch fed. Get your cooler ready. This is going to be a show we'll kick off here in about an hour, but we're getting close to giving away some of those Laser Nut trophies here in just a little bit. We are ready when you are. All right, going to bring you out. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the 2022 Method Race Wheels Legends of the Fall. It has been an amazing race this morning, and it's only going to get better here in just a little bit, Jim.
It is indeed. What an incredible start to this day. I mean, the racing here, Miles, this morning has just been absolutely out of this world. I mean, really, does it get any better?
Yeah, it's been an amazing weekend already, and like we were talking about, the main event kicks off at 1 p.m. We're getting ready to throw out some amazing laser nut trophies here in just a moment.
That's going to be fantastic. But, I mean, when we watch the racing, obviously we've been watching the 4800 class and the 4500 class. The talent and the skill that we've seen out there has been remarkable.
It's been amazing, but it's only going to get better.
Absolutely. Just getting to that bit. Now we've got the big guns. Now we've got the guys that we've been really excited about seeing. All of the cars that we've been seeing on course so far have been using DOT tyres. That means soft tyres. Means we're going to get a lot of punches. I think we're going to see a big change this afternoon. I think we're going to see a big change in pace. And I think we're going to see remarkable lap times. I reckon we're going to be seeing it around about 10 minutes, 30 seconds.
It's going to be absolutely amazing. So be sure you tune in or get your plans figured out now, because at 10 till we'll go live racing at 1 p.m. Again, I am Miles Hasquist alongside my good friend Jim Marsden. We're going to sign off and send it down to Pam Hall. Pam, it's your show.
All right, thank you, Miles and Jim. We are here for the Method Race Wheels Legends of the Fall Podium for our 4800 Legends class. Third place, Eric Weichel. I know that today tires were an issue. You had to have somebody go all the way back to your pit to get more tires for you. Did you guys end up using those tires that had to come over earlier?
Yes, we went through 5 tires today. It was my pit crew did an excellent job of keeping me in the race. I wouldn't have made it without them. Queen City Off-Road did so much to help me prep this car and keep it running and get it ready for this race.
Well, you guys were doing awesome out there. I know that tires were an issue for everybody. I lost count of the tires out there. But what was your favorite part about the race course today?
Just making it through it. Slinging it through with flat tires, it was one heck of a course. It was a great day.
Well, it was an awesome day, and we still have a long day to go with the 4400s coming up next. Who would you like to thank for getting you up here today?
Definitely Queen City Off-Road. I have to thank Nate and Joe for manning the pits today, and they just killed it. And everybody that helped us today. It was just an awesome day. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on your third place finish. You're going to stick around and watch the 4400s?
Yes, I am. Might have to change clothes. I'm just a little wet.
Oh, that was the story of the day yesterday, was wet fire suits.
Yes. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. Now we're moving on over here to our second place, Mr. Brent Harrell. Great day. I saw you come in with a couple flats, but otherwise, how was your day?
It was a lot of fun. The course has definitely changed a lot. There's a lot of logs that got jammed up and facing towards us, but it was a super fun track. Hopefully we come back here again next year.
I saw you, you got through before the bottleneck or no, earlier on that waterfall?
We were the first ones through the waterfall, and then we hit the Joker line, and I tried it several times in practice and whatnot, and my car just wouldn't go up it, so we ended up winching up it first lap. We were the first ones there, and then got past, and after that it was pretty smooth sailing other than a couple flats.
Awesome. Well, what was your least favorite part about the race course today?
Oh man, the last water crossing before you come into here is just soaked every time.
You know, I could tell that I haven't been actually on the race course, but every time all of you racers would come through, it's like water was just pouring out from the bottom, so it must be a big puddle right there.
Oh yeah, we're probably at least a quarter way up our doors.
Well, who do you have to thank for getting you up here today?
I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, my dad, family, and everyone that came with us. We wouldn't be able to do it without them and their continuous support. Paul Herschel and his amazing crew for building the baddest car around. Rigid Lights, coming out with some new cool stuff next year, and glad to be back by them. Fox Shocks, phenomenal shocks. Mike and Jack and all them give us tons of support. So, Tubes Works Diffs, my co-pilot Justin, Max Tie Downs, TMI, TMR, Bleshmid Trucking, and all the fans for coming out and making it all worth it.
So your dad's getting ready to go out on race course. Are you going to hop on over to the hot pits and help him out if he needs it?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Go get to sit in a wet fire suit.
Well, awesome. Congratulations. And we are coming back here next year, so hopefully we do see you as well.
Sounds like a plan.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on that second position. And now right on over here to the number 1 position, Mr. Woody Rose. Great day out there. How do you feel about your day today?
I feel like it went pretty well. I was keeping up a pace pretty decently. And, yeah, everything went pretty smoothly other than a few bad bounces and a few tires like everyone else out here. So, yeah.
I'm just curious if anybody got through this race without a flat tire.
I know Bailey Cole did.
That's true. He actually went and got Eric Weichels from his camp.
Really? Yeah. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah.
That's what I love about out here is everybody's just a big family, so it's like everybody's helping each other out. So, and you had a special guest in your co-driver seat today. Was he a big help? Because he's normally in a driver's seat.
Yes, Tad Dowker races the North Shore Raceworks Trent Fabrication top shelf car in 44. Big help. He kept my head on straight all day, helped me through all the tough climbs, and I wouldn't have been able to do without him.
Well, and that gave him a great preview because he's getting ready to go out on race course himself. So are you hopping in with him, or is his normal co-driver with him?
His normal co-driver will hop in with him. So I'm all done for the day.
Well, I know you were in the passenger seat yourself yesterday as well, correct?
Yes, I was with Bailey Cole, and we had a really smooth race, and I had a good time, and helped me out throughout the whole entire day through here. Definitely went faster and made my day faster.
Awesome. Well, who do you have to thank for getting you up here today?
Trent Fabrication, definitely. That's a big one. Derek Trent for helping me get here, and to all these races, really. My mother, Lisa Trent, she's a big support through all this, too. And Dave Schneider helped me out with my front end after I clipped a tree this weekend. And then Nexen Tires, they were a big one. Raceline Wheels, Yukon Gear and Axle, the Auto and Tire Doctor, Brannick Motorsports, Proper Tuning, Line-to-Line Coating, Laser Nut Racing, FK Rod Ends, ATO Transmission, Rugged Radios, McMahon Alternators, Warren Industries, Reed Racing, and Fox.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on taking that number 1 spot. So let's give it up for our 4800 Legends class. Woody Rose, Brent Harrell, and Eric Weichel. We're going to take just a moment for them to get their photos, and then we're going to bring up our next class, our 4500 Modified. So we're going to watch some highlights. So we'll be back in just a moment.
No, they flattened it, and they didn't put enough air in it.
All right, we are now here live with our 4,500 modified class. Mr. Dwayne Garrison in that third position. You came in with a little bit of a flat. Is that the only one of the day?
No, unfortunately, we every time we'd really want to press the race course, it would fight back, and we had 3 flats today.
What do you think about this race course? I know everybody keeps saying it's super hard, but what do you think about this race course compared to other tracks you've been to?
Man, all the tracks we race at are fun, but this is a super cool place. We're about 3 hours from here, so I've wheeled here 4 or 5 times in the last, maybe 10 years. So, I mean, it's awesome to be able to race close to home. It's awesome that, Mid-America is actually, able to secure this venue, on a government permit, man. So it really just kicks ass.
So we know you'll be back here next year when we race in September.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, it's an awesome race course for sure. Who do you have to thank for getting you up here today?
Man, I'd like to thank all of our sponsors. I'd like to thank all of the pit crew, Jared and Dennis for coming to almost all the races, Jeremy for crewing, and riding with me, man, and putting up with all my crap all year long. All the other racers that we compete against, man, for pushing the limits of the 4,500 class and making us faster. All the fans, Yokohama Tire, Yukon Gear and Axle, Brannick Motorsports, Tom Woods Driveline, Jimmy's 4x4, Raceline Wheels. Man, so many great sponsors that not only sponsor us, but a lot of other drivers. It's just an amazing time, man, and we're super stoked to be here.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on your number 3 spot. You're sticking around and watching the next race, I'm sure of, correct?
Yeah, I'm going to go get some different clothes on, but I'm coming back.
That's the story of the day. Wet fire suits and tires. That's the story of the day. Well, we'll let you get going here in just a moment, but congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
All right, and now we're moving on over here to our second place, Mr. Rick Lavezzo. You are doing amazing this year. You're going to get some more trophies later on. Right now it's unofficial, but how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling really good. I want to thank my co-driver James for just keeping me, focused all race, and it's just amazing. I think we had 3 flat tires, and we were focused on something else, so we hit it hard, but then we just had to slow down, and we had to finish the race, and that was our goal, and we did that. And without Yokohama tires, without Tube Works for our rims, Raceline for our rims, Kings for our shocks, I mean, we wouldn't be here. But most of all, my family, my crew chief, everybody just helped me out, and this man right here just all day in the air, Sunday drive, Sunday drive, Sunday drive, so it was amazing. And thanks to all the fans and Mid-America and everybody, it's just epic.
Now, you didn't get on top of the podium here, but the true saying that they always say, to finish first, you must first finish, and that's what's going on with you today. So the bigger trophies you're going to get. A great year for you. Congratulations. Who do you want to thank for getting you up here?
I want to thank my wife, my father. They're my biggest fans, my daughter. Everybody that helps us all year, Paul Herschel and the whole gang helping us, the obstacle gang, and just been amazing. Yokohama tires, King shocks, Raceline rims, Tube Works for our rear ends, and that's about it. That's all I got.
Awesome. Well, congratulations again. I'm going to ask Mr. James over here really quick. Today, you guys had an amazing day out there. What was your least favorite part as a co-driver out on race course today?
Just trying to keep him in check, and hitting the waterfall. We caught a little bounce back, and I was like, we better back up, and we backed up and shot up it. We got impatient coming in there the second time, and, we're going to try a different line, and I talked him out of it, and we let the other guy winch, and we took our normal line so we could just keep it, and then, it was an awesome course. He did great out there. It was a nutrition race, like, the guy said. If you don't finish, you're not going to finish, so keep the tires on it, and he did a good job.
Awesome. Well, congratulations to you guys again. Now we're going to move right on over here to our number 1 position, Mr. Troy Digby. Troy Digby, you won at AOP this year. AOP was your first race with Ultra 4 last year. Now, and you are on a roll here. Are you going to continue on? Because every time you show up, you're getting this number 1 trophy.
Yeah, I'm going to race as many races next year as I can. Nationals next year is a little far, being on the East Coast of North Carolina, but we're going to try to do as many as we can.
Well, I got to go there too, so, we're from the same area. No, it's awesome. Great race out there, though. When you came through, it was so close. You guys had roughly a minute between you and Rick to finish for the first position, but what was your favorite part about this race course out here compared to, like, AOP?
We like the waterfall. The waterfall was the best part. For whatever reason, we almost one-shot it every single time. Didn't have an issue. We passed a lot of cars there that couldn't get up, and you know, the car held together. We only had one flat, and everything was great on the course. JT did a great job.
Yeah, they've been out here working hard for many, many weeks on this race course. But who would you like to thank for getting you up here today?
Well, I got to thank all my great sponsors. And first off, I got to thank my brother. This is his first time ever in a race car, first for Ultra 4 race. And he's, you know, he had it all dialed in, tell me where to go, left, right, straight, slow down. He told me to slow down a lot. There's a lot of rocks. So yeah, we've got Owl Off-Road to thank. We have KMC Wheels, Ultimate 9, Tyree Lights. There's quite a few I'm forgetting, I'm sure. Let's see. Yeah, if I forgot anybody, I'm sorry. But thank y'all for all your support. You know, couldn't do it without y'all. And thanks to these great drivers that I had to beat today.
All right, well, since it's his very first Ultra 4 race ever, you've never even attended an Ultra 4 race. Nope. Tell us what you think about being in this race car with your brother, and did you have a blast?
Well, there's so much more than just the race, you know, like the last 2 nights have been absolutely fantastic. This is just such an amazing community. Being out here for the first time, just so good to see everyone helping each other out, you know, and like pitting yesterday, like our pit crew today did absolutely fantastic. But by far my favorite part was just seeing how much hard work that Troy has put into this over the last couple of years, and just so nice to see how well this is turning out for him. I'm just unbelievably proud of him.
So you think you'll be back?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, that's good to hear. Let's give it up for our 4,500 modified class for Legends of the Fall, Troy Digby, Rick Lavezzo, and Dwayne Garrettson.